So yeah, my request this year, I think, was pretty straightforward. Not asking for new positions.
Right.
We've got what the comp board gives and then what the county's required to fund.
Right.
I think I took out starting this year, one of our trainings that was just costing too much because we can get the trainings elsewhere.
Okay.
It's just office supplies are the big thing because this year we've been able to make it work because of some of those vacancy savings from the comp board getting money back.
Right.
But I mean, we hit the 6,000 this year.
Pretty quick.
January, February timeframe. A big part of it is we have to have thumb drives for all the body cam videos because we have to keep them with the files and we have to be able to take them to court, and those are costing an arm and a leg. And of course, ink, printers,
Certainly.
that type of a
I
thing.
know all about that.
I
I thought I was doing a good thing by buying a cheap printer.
Mhm.
Then I saw what the ink was.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
One of my favorite things in the office is we have a little label printer and it's the heat transfer. So we can't do it for regular papers, but it's great because we never have to buy ink.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we could do that with all the paper.
Exactly.
And then a couple of the things are just the state added that position last year, and then we didn't update some of the lines for the additional costs that would cause. Dues, work cell phone, books for the code books.
Right.
And then the last thing is the person we use for IT is saying our server is starting to reach the end.
I read that.
We've been doing everything we can to do Band-Aids, and I don't have my computer here because it's doing a virus scan right now. And so we're just trying to, so I kind of see that as something that's coming in the future. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything unique. I've got the ceasefire grant that goes through the end of this calendar year.
Okay.
We're hoping that they'll have it again so that we can work to renew it.
Right.
If not, I know at least that's another reason I've left that state position open. So the girl who's in that grant position, if we needed, we could put her over there and I could use some of the vacancy savings to keep her salary the same, at least through the end of the fiscal year. And I know that's its separate budget, but that's what that entire budget is reimbursed from the grant. So that one's pretty straightforward. Those numbers might seem high on the ceasefire, but again, it's because we have that pot of money. They've already approved it. They're going to reimburse it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Might as well try to utilize it while still being responsible with the funds. Trying to think if there was anything else.
Did you think of anything, Logan?
No, those are pretty straightforward. I went through and looked at some of them. So when I sent the email about what I looked at, if there was anything that I was seeing that could have come down just a smidge based off of fiscal year 25 and current, then we adjusted a little bit, but I don't think it would much in those two.
Yeah.
We have a few
Morning,
things.
sir. How you doing?
How y'all doing?
Hey, good, how are you?
Yeah, we have a handful of things that are kind of once a year expenditures, which Logan knows, like the case management system that comes out once a year. The dues, I think I just submitted the vodka dues for this year. But yeah.
This thing looks okay to me.
Okay.
Logan, you got any questions?
Not on any of these, no.
Anything on the ceasefire? Because I'm covering that one too. I figured.
Yeah. Well, you got Victim Witness here with you.
Yeah, and she should be coming over at 9:15, but I was going to stay with her anyway, just in case you had any questions about it.
Tab is. I guess we need to look at what a server may end up costing.
We've been, so Rob with Data Care out of Lunenburg has worked with us for a couple of years. He's really great. He has always been very, very cost efficient. I'm pretty sure there's stuff he has forgotten to charge us for. And so he's been trying to find and think of ways to do it in an efficient manner.
See, he came to my house, didn't charge me anything. I'm like, come on, Rob.
I know. He really has been really
like
great.
He's straightforward, straight shooter.
Yeah. And But yeah, we've been doing sort of the more cost efficient, to my mind, backup things, because I don't like the idea of putting our stuff on the cloud when you
Right.
think about the confidentiality and all of that.
Exactly.
We've been doing backups through external hard drives that you switch out periodically,
Yeah,
just
okay.
to do what we can without it costing an arm and a leg.
Okay.
I will ask one question I just thought of with the ceasefire, and you might have mentioned this a few seconds ago or
Mhm.
not. With this one, I know you said it crosses fiscal year.
It does.
Is this one that we have to expend the funds first and then we get reimbursed back, or do
Yes.
we get it up front?
No,
have
we
to use
we
the
expend
reimbursement.
it and reimburse. Yes. Again, and those numbers are higher because the current grant only goes through the end of this calendar year.
Mhm.
And so it's, well, those funds are in the grant, more funds than that, or
Right.
even still left in what they approved.
And you
So,
have to use it or give it back.
yes. Yeah. And we're hoping and assuming that they're going to have another application, a renewal, but they haven't announced that, but they had one last year for a new set.
Okay.
So we're hoping, but you never know with the changes that have happened this year.
Well, that's true.
Ms. Waters, on the
Yes.
server there,
Uh-huh.
did he give you a time frame of the remaining life on it?
I think he gave me an estimate, and it was, I want to say like 1 to 2 or 3 years, but I don't remember that definitively. I did not write it down. We have had with some of the different power surges and
Uh-huh.
things like that, it's on a battery backup, but that's messed up. And so he's brought it back to life for us a couple of times. So we're just kind of crossing our fingers,
CPR.
crossing our toes,
Right.
Yeah, I would trust what Rob says. He's, like I said, he's good. He knows what he's doing. Very reasonable.
I
So-
mean, you won't see anything like that with anybody else, but and it's not for lack of quality, but his
Right,
prices
right.
you won't see anywhere else.
Yeah, I think he does a good job.
And forgive me guys for being late.
That's all right.
I think y'all know there's a lot going on with several board members right now.
Yes, sir.
The bar dues,
Yes.
is that something that they would normally pay, like if they were in private practice or something like that?
So if they were in private practice, they would pay it. It is very typical as a government attorney that the office pays it, or big firms, the firm is going to pay it because it's required to practice. It would-
Okay, all right.
And I will double check, Logan. I'm looking at this. I might be able to reduce the case management system line. I had done the 10% increases because last year's didn't have an increase. I think they did not increase it this year, which means I should be able to cut, it's only a couple hundred, but I should be able to cut a little bit of money from that. Because when I did this, I didn't know what this year's bill would be, which could have been 10% more than last year. And then
Right.
each year they could go up by that. So I might be able to cut that some. I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, it makes sense to pay the dues because you've got 4 attorneys sitting here and to keep up with what's going on, you got to stay with.
And that's so we have the state bar dues and we have VACA dues.
Right.
VACA is kind of the lobbying organization, but they're also helping putting on some of the training. And that way I
Right.
was telling a little earlier that I've cut the more expensive training we used to go to. And I think I cut that out of this year's budget because it wasn't a good use of taxpayer funds anymore, but we can get those credits we need through the other trainings that we get.
And I was smiling because you said the way you said it, vodka, and I was like, I think you hit for you some vodka. This one.
Well, this is VACA, vodka, not vodka, but yes.
And are they yearly?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know what.
I've had some years where I've been able to pay some of the bar dues from like the prior year and
Right.
this year we've already gone through the dues, and so bar dues will have to come out of next fiscal year.
Gotcha.
Eric, you have any questions?
I don't think so. The only other one I said, and actually, this is something I've told everybody I was going to do. I'm in a trust but verify mode
Sure.
type thing. Is there anything that is not mandated that needs to be looked at?
Is there anything that's not mandated would be different in my mind that needs to be looked at, but I'll
Right.
answer that first part.
Right.
The only funds with regards to salaries that are not either comp board or mandated is the one lowest paid admin that I have.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And that was when we realized that our one admin was doing 3 times the average work of others, that we added that position. Beyond that, I really took a hard look at the budget, knowing the position the county's in with finances. And I don't really see anything in any of the other categories. The office supplies are really, really tough, and we
Yeah.
work on that. And I am looking for the least expensive thumb drives on Amazon that I can find that are efficient. I'm doing everything I can, but those prices just keep going up.
Yeah, I can't understand why pulpwood is so cheap and paper so high.
Where that's at.
And then the other thing, John, that it was, I think maybe even before the meeting started that I mentioned. So I've got a comp board position this year that I haven't filled because I have that grant position.
Okay,
And that means that salary I've been able to request back to the county for other expenditures. So that's money that we weren't expecting to get without having to separately expend. And we are expending it, but it is things that we already planned to. So it'll be about 77,000 over the course of this year that we will have gotten back. That wasn't planned for, I guess, when the budget was done last year.
Right.
now, any of the grants that you see, and I would ask, same thing with the school, anybody about this, any of the stuff that's coming down that is grant funded, that is going to have to become the
County's responsibility.
county's responsibility later, is there anything in this budget that we need to look at, or next year's budget that we need to be?
Possibly for next year's
Next
budget,
year.
yes. So the ceasefire grant, that goes, it's calendar year, not budget year,
Okay,
which
I know.
is frustrating. But the current grant we have goes through this calendar year.
Okay.
Part of the reason I haven't filled that state funded spot has been, if that grant goes away, I want somewhere to have that person keep a job because they're really doing well. But their salary is supplemented beyond that. I can still make all that work with the vacancy savings from the comp board with what I've proposed here through fiscal year 27. If it is not renewed, if they don't have a new one, if they don't redo it, then next fiscal year when we're sitting at this table, then that will be an impact because the person in that job is making more than that state salary.
Right, okay.
So there'll be a little bit of an impact there that I would be requesting, but we should know that at least in time for the budget meeting
Okay.
next year. And I would have the funds to keep that person at their current salary or at the, I threw a pen at myself. Or at the, if there's a 2% raise from the state at that salary through this fiscal year with what we have. But it will be potentially something. Now, we're hoping they do a renewal and that we get renewed. But I've thought about that from both
Right.
angles, just in case.
Good deal. Right. Well, I mean, I didn't have anything else, so.
I don't even, like I said, I think serve as a question mark, and we'll see what Rob can do with that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, everything else is pretty straightforward.
I try to be fiscally conservative.
We appreciate that.
Now, Lauren may have gotten caught in court, which might be why she's not here, but did you have any questions on victim witness grant that I can maybe answer?
I said, where is that one?
That's the next
It'll
one.
be the next tab.
After, no, that way. There you go,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're all in order.
They're all in,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
There you go.
Right, so I'll ask the same question because this is a grant. Is this a reimbursable grant or is this one you get the funds up front and then you just spend them out?
This is reimbursable. There is a new aspect to this grant that the board may not be aware of. Earlier this year, our victim witness director applied for and received a grant for up to $25,000 in reimbursement stuff. And I'm really excited about that. We haven't had utilized it much yet, but it is specifically for citizens. Let's say your house was broken into, and you need to replace the locks because that was damaged.
Gotcha.
The program can pay for that while the state or this grant then reimburses the county.
Right.
And so it's providing some of those additional victim services that we just didn't have the funds for before. In theory, it could put someone up in a hotel for a night if they needed it. We don't have a lot of funds, as you can see, to, permanently relocate folks, but there are several categories that just help us provide a little bit more for victims of crime who wouldn't have that or need something for
Thinking
safety.
about people who get window shot out or something like that,
Right. Yeah.
Or the wall. We've had that happen in the county, so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's great to have that.
And that 25,000 does not have a match, so it's fully state funded.
Correct. It is fully, it's state or federal. I don't remember which, but it is fully not local. funds. Now, it's local expense, they reimburse,
Gotcha.
just like the rest of the grant. Now, with victim witness grant, every year we're looking at what are the feds going to do, what's the state going to do, because that is a combination state and federal,
Okay.
whereas ceasefire is completely state. It makes the reports a whole lot easier for
Yeah.
ceasefire than victim witness. And so every year for the last, I don't know, 5-10 years maybe, there has been uncertainty with those funds.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And you say, or it says that the state funded, so so y'all essentially, do y'all ever have to pay up front and then send them for reimbursement? Is that how that works?
That's how that works with
Okay, all
both,
right.
all the grants that I've talked about.
Okay,
That's,
all right.
yeah, what we're doing. And I think it's quarterly for both of them.
Okay.
And does the grant cross fiscal years on either the 25,000 or the victim witness one, or is that calendar years as well?
Victim witness one is fiscal year. I think the 25,000 is fiscal year, but
Yeah,
I will
it is.
check. Okay. Because Lauren prepared it and I reviewed it, but then,
Yeah, I'm reading it right here. Too. Will grant cross fiscal years? Yes. Is it reimbursable? Yes.
okay.
Now with that salary increase, so that would be one that the county would have to pick up if this goes away. Is that right? It's a 2% personnel salary increase.
Look, is it okay if I open this with my computer
yeah,
having
go ahead.
issued? I don't have that paperwork with me. So let's see. Thank you.
You're fine.
Yes,
Thank
that-
you.
it's
Okay.
at the end of, well, there you go, yeah.
Okay. And then it may have been the revenue.
Yeah, it says 2% personnel salary increase, 936 to cover case management software.
I was trying to look at what we think what we think the grant may be covering. That's what I'm not sure, because there was that increase in the grant either
Right.
this year or last year, Logan, and I was wondering if it would end up.
It says existing for funds will be used to support and sustain direct services for victims of crime in Nottoway County,
Right.
including advocacy, support, accompaniment,
Mhm.
crisis intervention, and referrals to community resources.
So, and I do apologize. Like I said, I thought Lauren would be able to be here, but there's JD report this morning. And so that is one that she's
Okay.
in a lot. I can get that information for
Sure.
sure to Logan. If that would actually come out of county, if an increase there would come out of the county, because there was a little bit of wiggle room there to start with. She wasn't at the max of what the grant was covering.
Gotcha.
So there was a little bit of room there.
Yeah, I see over here on the right, total funding, both all the way down to the state and federal grant funds.
And I was
That's
thinking
nice.
that I was actually thinking that we were in a spot that she was able to stay within those grant numbers.
Right. Good.
But I will verify that because I don't want to misspeak.
Certainly.
Of course, it's always nice when it's there, but it's like if they start pulling funds, then
Yeah, then you're looking at what you're going to have to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
the citizens.
Exactly. Well, I think that's something that's definitely needed. I'm glad that they're paying for it.
Yes, me too. And I'm hoping it will continue. It's just every year they look at because some of it has come from court costs and fees over the years. And we were just talking about how
Yeah.
they're not all collected due to the
Yeah.
changes of the state law. So,
Yeah.
But any other questions I can answer?
I don't think so. Everything looks pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, I don't think anything.
Yeah, I didn't have anything earth shattering this year, but I figured I'd always schedule the
Thank you very
time and.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming over.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Absolutely. And I will get that information to you, Logan. And if anything else comes up, feel free to shoot me an email or
All right,
Call.
thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You too, thanks.
We do have a few minutes. Do you want to see the next person?
Say here, yeah, let's go. I have a question for these folks.
Long one? Either one? Okay.
I'm ready.
Wasn't sure who was who, so. Hi, I'm Logan. Nice to meet you.
Sherry McGuire.
Hey, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, sir. Hi,
Rourke.
Mr. Rourke. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Doing well, doing well. I am standing in for Miss Dana Knott today,
All right.
and she is our regional director for the Small Business Development Center. And she covers this area, but I wanted to share some information with you all.
All right.
Some things there, and I have some extras. I don't know if any
There
other
are-
members
we have
might
some
want.
Board members that couldn't make it today for various reasons.
Right,
So,
right. And some other publications I have, these are success stories from around the state, for SBDC. One of our formal clients there is on the front, that's
Okay.
Glenn's Crane Institute right
Okay.
there. So, interesting. And then business planning guides. Lots of things to share with you all, but you probably are already somewhat familiar with the Small Business Development Center. We have been in existence, gosh, since 1989. And Longwood hosts the services, the business consulting for new and existing businesses for 24 localities in Southern Virginia. We're subcontracted from George Mason to provide those services. So they receive federal funds to support us.
gotcha.
And then we receive a portion of that, which is matched at the local level. And thank you all for being partners throughout the year on that. So Longwood puts in about a third of our funding, and then the localities, all 24.
Okay.
What we ask is 30 cents per capita. That hasn't changed. You guys are right in line. We're not asking for any increases. I just want to update you on some programs that we have and some resources, and give you some information to give to your business owners to make sure that they can access the services or know what to do.
Right.
So everything from doing research on a new business idea to finding capital to expand an existing business, business planning in general. If someone is thinking about selling their business down the line, how do you prepare for that? Or if someone's buying a business, what do you need to look at? How do you do the financial analysis behind that? So lots of different things, including new subject matter like AI, how do small business owners implement that in a way that is safe and
Right.
sound for them in their strategies. So,
Let me ask a question.
yes, sir.
We are, I don't know, we're talking about, we have inherited the former Burkeville Primary School.
Okay.
We had a meeting with the, I guess you call them the stakeholders. Right now, there's a food bank operating in that building.
Okay.
We have a lady who does exercise with folks in that building.
Okay.
What else, John? I'm trying to think of the other things that they were bringing up. They were talking, there's a gymnasium there, and there was a question about access to the gym for like local sports teams, or people could bring their child or children in there and do training or whatever.
Of course, the registrar there as well.
Yeah, we have a registrar that's in that office. Plan is, once we get everything going here, we'll bring the registrar back here to the county seat.
Okay.
But there was talk about creating a foundation
Okay.
to take care of that. And I didn't know whether Longwood Small Business had any type of dealings with foundations. It would be a nonprofit, mentioned 503C or whatever it is.
501c3.
501c, yeah. And I didn't know whether Longwood Small Business did anything with that. We were looking at ways to use the building that would benefit the community. It's not going to show us any money, really. Like I said, we inherited the school board, surplused it back to the county board of supervisors. So we own the building now. And we're trying to figure out the best use of that.
Right.
And so it's an expense. We're paying propane bills, we're paying electricity, that type of thing, which is costing us money every month. And we're trying to figure out, is there a way we can cover those expenses and still provide a service for the citizens?
Right.
That's the big
Right.
deal.
Right.
So I don't know, like I said, I didn't know whether y'all dealt with foundations or anything like that.
Well, there's certainly connections we can help you make. We deal more with for-profit
Yeah, I
businesses,
know, yeah.
but we've been involved in projects before where, just matching up some grant partners.
Right,
Like,
right.
as you say that, it sounds like you would be housing maybe different business opportunities for people in that
Right.
space. So it would almost be like a shared incubator space. Is that what you're thinking?
We've talked about that. And see, right now we have cooperative extension across the road, and they were interested in moving to that building also.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's and they pay rent.
Okay.
So that would be
Okay.
something that we would have some income on there. We don't know exactly, again, we've now inherited expenses. We're trying to figure out how to cover them.
Yeah.
And so anything that y'all could do to help us, maybe get us in a grant direction or whatever.
Okay.
We have not formed a foundation. That was something that was mentioned in the meeting we had with her.
Right.
But again, I know there's a lot to be done to create a foundation, and it's something that we're thinking about. We haven't done anything yet.
Okay.
So there were mention of some businesses maybe renting a couple of rooms,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
So I don't know exactly where we're going to end up. But right now we're looking and we're trying to figure out exactly what we can do. Now we have an incubator out at Fort Pickett, but eventually that's going to leave there and it may come to Burkeville School. So we don't know.
Okay, where is this school? What's the address?
It's on Ingleside Road.
Yes, Ingleside Road in Burkeville. Well, actually it's Miller Road.
Miller, that's right.
Miller Road in Burkeville.
Okay.
It's, our registrar is there, and that's the voting precinct for District 1 in Nottoway County.
Okay.
So people come there to vote. It's on like, what, 40 acres, John, something like that?
About 40.
It's a big piece of property. The reason the Ingleside comes from the fact that there was a black school there called Ingleside. And, so the idea was we would name the foundation the Ingleside Foundation.
Okay.
But that's another thing. We've got a lot of ideas thrown out to us, but we don't really know exactly how we're going to handle it.
Okay. I'd be happy to think through this with you
I appreciate
because there are examples probably around the state in rural areas that might.
Exactly. The whole thing was a big thing. They have moved in 5 or 6 freezers and refrigerators, and so we're footing the bill for that.
Okay.
And we're hoping that, if we could get some kind of grant funding or maybe FEMA would, we thought at one time maybe asking if they wanted to buy the building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an ongoing thing. Like I said, we had a meeting with the community and people came and talked to us about, we got ladies that go in and walk in the gym. And so it's a good place for the community, but we want to make sure that we can cover the cost. So,
Yeah, this could be something that also the Commonwealth Regional Council could help you
yes,
with too.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I sit in on those meetings so I can kind of probe a little bit and
Certainly,
see.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
I just got one quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
And I missed these meetings last year for obvious reasons, but since the past year, and I know you guys can't help anybody that doesn't come to you.
Right.
So what I'm asking, do we have any success stories in the last year?
We've worked with 20 businesses
Okay.
here in Nottoway. 13 of them, and we have to have their permission to tell their stories.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
the ones that we show in here, the ones that said, yes, please write a story about me. I want to know. But 13 of those were existing businesses, and they reported over $2 million in sales volume. So the premise is when you support SBDC that the businesses become successful enough that the tax money comes back
Right.
into the community to more than cover the cost of the services. So they also reported 31 full-time employees. So
Have you talked to the town of Cruz since they're doing their renovation downtown?
Dana probably has.
Okay,
She's our outreach person. I'm stepping in for her because she had another appointment for funding.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I know they've gotten grants to do downtown Crew or whatever. So one of the things they're looking at is businesses to be relocated because we've lost the bank, we lost the pharmacy, several things that have left downtown Crew.
Right.
And they really need some help. And like I said, they've gotten a grant, I think, for the facade, you know,
The storefronts.
the storefronts,
Mhm.
that type of thing. So, and they mentioned the type of things they're gonna do, but I think anything that y'all could help them with would be appreciated.
Certainly. I know they had some damage during the last, big
Yes,
storm
it did,
too,
they did.
yeah.
And those folks.
They were open 2 days later.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
That was
if you
amazing.
go through Crew going home, look to your right.
Yeah.
Hardee's is on the left,
Uh-huh.
look to your right. The new roof is on the building.
I have shopped in there.
Yeah,
Are they
Yoda's,
back
yeah.
open yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They
Okay.
opened up 2 days later.
I knew they got the roof back on, but I
Yeah.
wondered about damage to the
stopped. They
inventory.
closed, I think, on Thursday to get the stuff straightened out and back over on Friday. They opened that.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I'll stop in and say hello to them.
Yeah.
And I may drive by the school property too, just to kind of get
Okay, now let me give you directions.
Okay.
When since you're coming from
Wiggle,
Crew,
wiggle.
it's a heck of a way to get there.
Okay.
Get in the left-hand lane, you'll see they've got the twist now.
Yep.
I don't know whether it'd be better to go through Burkeville or try to take that left there.
I am terrible with
I would take
directions.
that, I'd take that route.
Yeah, I think so.
Left at the convenience center.
Yeah.
723.
Yeah.
You'll see it,
Right.
and you.
Yeah, and then
you
turn
take a
right into
left.
Burkeville.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you take a left, and right to go past the convenience center, there's a road called Inverness Road. Take
Yep.
a right on Inverness Road.
Okay.
And you'll follow Inverness Road for a right good while, and you'll come to a curve like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be a curve, and the sign says Miller Street. Take a left on Miller Street.
Okay.
And you just go straight down Miller Street, you come right to the school.
Okay. I can find that. Inverness sounds like a Scottish.
Well,
Name.
if you look to your left, once you make that turn, there's a great big beautiful home called Inverness on that road. It's historic from the standpoint of after the Civil War, after Appomattox, the Union commander actually had his headquarters at that house. But
Okay.
they all came back to Burkeville because Burkeville had railroads going 2 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Lots of Scots Irish.
and a lot of them came and caught the railroad to Danville or where else.
Yeah.
Back to Richmond. But
Yeah.
and the registrar's in there,
Okay.
so he could probably show you around.
Okay.
You go in the door, and his registrar's office to the left.
Okay.
Okay. Rodney could probably. I don't know whether they're giving out food today or not. Do you know, John?
What's today? Today is
Thursday.
I think they're doing it by appointment.
Yeah. So you may see
Doing it
the
by appointment.
feed more open.
Okay. All right. That'll give me a good visual while I'm out this way. There's several pieces of information in your folder.
Okay.
Feel free to go through that
All right.
as you please, as impact from around the state. And then we have our new Seed Innovation Hub. If you haven't seen that in Farmville, that is,
Okay.
has 2 maker spaces, a digital innovation space. Students and community can use it and have
Okay.
membership, so not that far away.
Yeah.
Come visit us. The SBDC is now in that space, so we can help someone if they come in with an idea on the napkin, they can actually prototype it on 3D printing or
okay.
milling machines. Study the business opportunity behind that, get help from the SBDC.
Okay.
So everyone from K through 12 to adults using the space.
Is this the one down by Chick-fil-A?
Yes.
Down there? Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, and Steve's been in there. Steve
Yeah.
Owen's been in there quite a bit.
Right.
Our Regional Economic Development Alliance,
Right,
Heartland
right.
Alliance is
Mhm.
in that space too. So
Okay.
that was Longwood's contribution to
Okay.
the alliance
Very
and
good.
all the space. So there's that.
Mr.
And-
McGuire, the last question I think I have here is just, and I'm gonna ask everybody this. It's
Sure.
kind of one of those trust but verify things, but for say the county, because of our finances decide not to fund this,
Mhm.
what effects does it have?
Well, it certainly limits our ability to come provide services in the county and work with businesses in the county. Anyone can come to us still,
Right.
but we're able to justify more programming like the help that we gave the Growversity program. We did classes for the businesses there in downtown Blackstone. So things like that we would pull back on because we just reallocate the staff cost. Hopefully that wouldn't be a case. I mean, it's been the same level of funding for a long time, and we have cut, where we needed to keep it that way.
And see, so, because we're live today, and I think it's good for the citizens to hear
Absolutely.
what the cause and effect is.
Absolutely. We do have a display you can put in your one of your offices, if it's the treasurer's office or wherever your businesses are coming to get their business license. They can scan and sign up with our services right there, so they get a good start.
Okay.
And then we've also been around to all the libraries and left these bookmarks for people, for the librarians to hand out, and I'll leave some of those with you too. It also has the link to our website. So anyone that's in the library that wants to explore a business opportunity can get that information.
Appreciate that. Well, I think that's, and we'll follow up with you on that deal in Berkeley.
Yes, sir.
We're
Please
really
do.
trying to figure out what we can do in that building.
Yeah. Well, I love development projects.
We appreciate that.
I'll be happy to look into it and
Well, thank you so
work
much.
with the CRC or whomever that we
Right.
can get you in touch with to help.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
you. You have a great day.
You too. Some more information to give out, and we'll overload you.
No problem.
That's all right.
Rather have
We get to
too much than,
we get to
This
do
is
a
our
lot of reading. anyway.
Annual report on the seed innovation. Hub, so you can see what's going on there. So much information to throw at you at one time.
Yeah, this seed, what are you talking about? Is this like farming seed, or you
Oh,
talking
no.
about a business?
It is.
Make your business grow.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's entrepreneurship and innovation, and it's not necessarily an incubator, but you can certainly have meetings there. Classes come from the regional school systems to do projects there. We have college students obviously taking classes
Sure.
and making new prototypes
Right.
in there and pitching their business ideas. And the community is welcome to use it. We have membership plans that are very affordable. They're modeled after the YMCA. So it should be cost effective. Anybody that wants to come use the space and make something, come right on in.
We appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
It's nice to see you
Thank you for your
today.
time. Take care.
Good to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Good to see you.
Nice seeing.
Thanks.
He's not area Veterans Council. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hello, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm
Dick
good.
Eagle. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, good.
How are you?
Hey, I'm John.
Hey, John. Nice to meet you. I'm listening to you talk about foundations. I'm very familiar with foundations and used to bringing in millions of dollars for foundations, so I would be very interested in assisting with
Whoa.
that.
Well, take that, ladies and gentlemen.
Dr. Rex said we may be calling you.
So we are Piedmont Area Veterans Council. We started in 2014, so we've come a long ways. Nottoway County is probably our second, sometimes third largest. You kind of weigh with one other county.
Right.
We get 400 to 500 requests a month, about 4,000 by email. We are mostly volunteer staff, which I think is pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
We started a new program last year where we're doing resources, which is basically grant writing. I have 3 people that do grants. We put $633,000 in your county in grants in less than 4 months. That money, when we do a grant, that money is spent in your county 5 times before it leaves the county. As you know, that it's a multiplier effect. But the beauty about it is not only the veteran or the family member or the veteran gets the benefit. We use only your local contractors and businesses in your area. So we're feeding those funds right back into your county. We are a busy office. I don't know how to say it any other way. I mean, we're swamped. We pretty much have made the stance this year that we can only serve the veterans that are in our areas of coverage area. Dinwiddie County asked us to pick them up, which we have a lot of people that come from Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
So we did agree to take Dinwiddie. What I thought was interesting when I'm sitting here listening to you is that we have veterans that come with franchises. We have veterans every day that call in and say, where can I start my business?
Okay.
And veterans come with their own funding. I would say if I was a county administrator, I would want every veteran I could in my county. I met yesterday with Chastity and the
Blackstone, yeah.
huge program with her workforce. We can help with so much with that program because we have the younger veterans that are going to school. They come with their VA benefits. They come with a certificate of eligibility. We can do grants up to, $20, $50, $100,000. So if they couldn't qualify for that home, we could subsidize some of the funding, which would get them into that home. But we
Okay.
could do that pretty much in any area. But we do have a lot of veterans that are coming to rural areas. They want to do farming or they want to do something like that.
Right.
So we work with, in veterans, it's so totally different, I guess, than when I'm listening to the Small Business Administration. We can send them to the Small Business Administration, which is a great opportunity. But a lot of our veterans, there's so many resources on the veteran side and the
Right.
nonprofit side that we can tap into. We rarely ever has to, and I can honestly say in the last year, we probably have referred 2 people to local resources because we've been able to feel it right in our office with national nonprofits without having to tax the counties or use their funds. And most of the time when veterans move into your counties, they already come with resources.
Right.
So they're not taxing your schools, they're not taxing your health department, they have health care. And when we can get a veteran 100% rating, I guess the only thing that takes away from the county is when because if you're 100%, then the property tax waiver,
Right.
because you're losing that income. But if you look at the other benefits that come with that, you're not losing it. You're gaining it probably 20 times in other benefits.
I'll take them all day.
Exactly. Me too.
I'm serious. It's the best. It's like, and sometimes I think that we're an agency that we're so busy that we're kind of understated. People don't really realize what we do in our office and what an impact we have on the counties that we serve. Yesterday I wrote 3 grants for Nottoway County, $83,000. Okay, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but that $83,000 may make the difference in whether a small business that's doing the work survives.
Right.
And I know we unless it's something we absolutely cannot get as far as a service in the counties,
Right.
which is I don't think we've ever had that happen.
Where's y'all's office at? You don't
Well,
have
that was the
an
interesting thing. Okay, so we bought the old Oakwood dealership on a prayer, honestly, that we would be able to maintain it. Because before we've always depended on, being in town buildings,
Right.
or the town manager has given us a building. So a year and a half ago, we decided we were going to buy our own building so we had a permanent home. So the building was $650,000. I negotiated it down to $450,000. We paid $200,000 down. We have raised $90,000 by fundraising with our little small group of volunteers. And I met with the owner of the building, and our building will be officially paid off $174,000 this week.
Wonderful.
All
Great.
done in less than a year.
Do you have a card with you guys?
I do.
I'll get it for you.
But I think we're a hidden jewel.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
you are. You definitely.
And there isn't a family here in Nottoway County that doesn't have a veteran in there
You're right.
somewhere in the family.
We get a lot of veterans that come here, like you say, because they would pick it or whatever.
They're moving here.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, and
I
if
see it in my community. People buying.
well, I met a young man. We did a fundraiser at Applebee's. I met a young man who moved here from North Carolina.
Okay.
And he said, well, "Can I come into your office and you help me with a farming grant?" I'm like, "Sure," because there's so many resources for veterans,
Right.
but not only for the veteran, the spouse of the veteran.
Right.
And the VA changed the way they treat or care for veterans. Now caregivers get paid. So if a veteran is drawn 100%, and then we are able to get the caregiver pay for the spouse, that spouse is maybe paid anywhere from $1,400 to maybe $3,000 extra direct to her.
That's great.
So I mean, and the fact that most people nowadays with health insurance, the cost for health insurance, you can afford it or you can't when you retire.
Right.
So if we can get a veteran connected to VA healthcare, or they have a prescription that's $400, $600 a month, which is not uncommon nowadays,
Right.
and they can't, or their insurance doesn't cover it, and we can network with some of the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, it's just amazing. If you name it, we do it. I mean,
That is amazing.
we do debt management. We have a veteran that comes in and they went to a local hospital. The bill's not covered by the VA. We had one come in yesterday, $628,000. And having to negotiate and help them try to get
Get it down now.
that debt totally waived, or sometimes just fixing their credit. We see, we say we don't have homeless veterans. That's not true. We've had a lot of homeless veterans. So with the homeless veterans, we can work with SSBF housing. We work with the HUD-VASH program with the VA. We do grants for them where we can get them immediately into a hotel or maybe a temporary housing for a couple of months while they're getting approved for supportive housing. I mean, it's almost like a small community. It's like a small community within your communities,
Right.
because we do a lot of the things that the larger communities do, but we're just specialized and we do it for veterans.
So don't take my silence as anything negative. You got my wheels spinning.
There's so much that can be done.
All right,
Yeah.
that's the reason why I want a car, because I got a meeting I like to set up with you and individual.
I think I met the person who's in charge of the Ruritan Club for Blackstone. He wants me to come speak about, just veterans benefits. But, I just think that, like I said, we're an untapped resource.
Yeah.
We're tapped to the max, but we're still, I think a lot of counties still don't understand what we do and what we can provide.
You've opened my eyes this morning, I can tell you that. It's amazing, because I know we got a lot of veterans. I was a teacher. A lot of my kids went in service and they come back home, and they probably don't realize these benefits that they can receive, and that upsets me because they don't know.
Well, you have great service organizations. You have the American Legion, the VFW, the
Right.
DAB. I mean, you have some amazing service organizations in your county,
Right.
but we fill those gaps that the service organizations wouldn't do.
Right.
Like the service officers, they have their own service officers who file for benefits. We have service officers that come into our building and we schedule appointments with them. So we have the Virginia Department of Veteran Services that comes in. We provide them with an office space. We make their appointments. We keep their files, whatever they need.
Right.
We have the vet center that comes in. So a veteran, instead of having to drive to Charlottesville or Richmond, they can come and do mental health counseling right in our office at no charge. The federal VA provides it. We just provide the space. But I'm thinking, okay, so you have a space now. What a great way to be able to help these veterans, especially the younger veterans.
Right.
But we have, people are living longer too. So we have veterans that are, well, we look at, there's Purple Heart Homes, Veterans Aging in Place. It's a wonderful program. Most people don't even know about them. I mean, and they have a home ownership program where you can actually buy a tiny house if you're a veteran, as long as you have the land. But there's so much unused lands in so many of our counties because it is rural counties
That's right.
and they're not farming anymore. I was like, bring all your veterans in.
Yeah.
Let's get them in the counties because, and that puts an economic impact back into your county and your businesses.
And Sarah, a quick question. And you may have heard me ask Ms. McGuire as well. Without the 5,000, what does that do?
We would shut our doors. That's awful to say, but it's the truth because we are a volunteer organization. We have one paid person, which is myself. And I can promise you that nobody would work for what I work for. And
Well, I don't know. I know
and
some
we're
elected officials that do.
14 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
And we have one temporary person who actually is only scheduled to work 12 hours and she usually works 50 to 60 hours.
Hmm.
Our whole office is volunteers, veterans and spouses of veterans, but they're dedicated. Most of the volunteers have been with me 8 and 10 years. They see the importance of what we do.
Right.
We do, and if you look at our numbers, we do as much fundraising as the counties provide us, the 8 counties that we cover.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you what we operate on. But when you look at what we put back into the county, we put millions of dollars back into the counties. We're not taking away from the counties. We're putting money back into the counties. I think that makes us different to some degree
Right, absolutely.
because our money's not spent on salaries. It's spent on programs and
Program for
services.
the people.
And we're operating by people who are volunteers.
Right.
No, I didn't have any other questions, guys.
I don't either. I applaud you for what you're doing.
This is another great organization. Let me get some
Thank you
cards.
so much.
These two are amazing. Let me bring a card over. You know what? They may be in my car, so I may have to bring one back in for you. Is that all right? Okay.
I'll get that.
I do have her email, so
That's
if you
fine.
want, I
Oh,
can.
good.
pass
Do you
it.
have any
Yeah,
other
you bet.
questions of me?
I'll get it.
I'm like a fast talker, nervous. I don't like doing.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. We appreciate you coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Logan, thank you for everything.
Have a great day.
You too.
Six?
Would you like to come over?
all right.
Good morning.
How
Hey, how you doing?
I am well. How about you two?
I hear you retiring.
Oh,
Is
good.
that a true statement?
It is true.
Oh, dang on.
Yeah. The board has asked, the board asked in my last contract for me to give them 18 months notice.
Okay.
So I gave them that notice in October of last year. So I'm going to be working through my 67th birthday, but then I'm headed out.
Well, you've done a wonderful job.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Absolutely.
Stringer. I
I
appreciate it.
know that.
I
know that.
appreciate that a lot.
Good.
Well, thank you guys for allowing us to come and talk to you about the work that STEPS does in your community. We're going to sort of tag team. The first part of our session will be me talking about community action. I know John has sat on our board, so he's very well versed at everything that we do. But for the 7th consecutive year, we're just asking for level funding.
Right.
Being a resident of Nottoway County,
You understand?
I do. I fully understand. And I will also make the offer that in a year, I will have a lot more free time. So if there is something that I can do on a volunteer basis for you guys, just feel free to
Well,
let
we
me know.
really appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. We need citizen support, and we need citizen support from people that have actually done work in the community and understand what it takes. So,
Thank you
okay,
so much.
publicly, I
We
have
will
to put
pick
that
you
out
up on that.
there. All right.
You'll be getting a call.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have made it quite so public.
Right.
But your dollars are combined with other dollars that we get from the other counties that we serve. And those dollars have been able to pull down last fiscal year over $7 million in program services, the ability for it to expand. You should have received our annual audit and our 990 electronically. Okay, good. All right. One of the things that I would really like to touch on is the ability of you to understand how community action works. Back in 2014, many of you may remember when Hope Community Services went out of business and it was really ugly in public. Localities asked us to step into that void. And so we agreed to do so. With that came the responsibility to do a community needs assessment every 3 years so that we can pivot and be nimble enough to change services. Maybe it's we're no longer going to do this service because the need is greater over here. Over the past 3 years, it's become evidently clear that housing is a tremendous need in our entire region. We also stepped into the void for Head Start and Early Head Start back in 2014 and have been running that successfully since then. And then more recently, of course, when the Southside Violence Prevention Center went out of business and Madeline's house closed, we stepped into that void, stood it up. It's been open for over a year. Sean Rozier will be following me to sort of document our need for domestic violence support. But I share that with you because community action doesn't mean we only provide behavioral health or we only provide early childhood education. Community action means we wrap our arms around the entire community. One of the approaches we use is the whole family. So if someone walks in our door and said, you know, I've got a nephew that is homeless, can you provide services? That's all well and good, but we want to talk to the family unit. We want them to come in. We want to see what other services are available. We don't provide them all. I will tell you honestly, you are blessed to have Shannon Reed here as your Director of Social Services. As a sidebar, we did apply for a congressional directed spending account that will support our micro home village, which is transitioning people out of homelessness into a more stable environment. And Nottoway County, I'm proud to say, we got a letter from county administration, we got a letter from Shannon at DSS, and we got a letter from Sheriff Jones. That was the only county of our 6 that actually sent all 3 letters of support supporting that initiative. So you guys have a great team here. You know,
We're also the first ones to offer the money for that program too. weren't we?
you were. Yeah, you all came to the table first with some of your ARPA funds. Thank you, Mr. Roy, for reminding me. We are very proud that you all recognize the value and the integrity by which we run our services. I am blessed to have a great team. We are expanding even more, and I'm going to pivot real quickly. You've got this colorful county report that came in your packet that shows who in your county received what kind of services. The beauty of that is that we really want to make sure that we are completely transparent, that you all see directly the impact that your funds are being invested. But I want to talk to you about 2 new initiatives that we have going on. Yes, you guys did support us with the ARPA funding. We are working diligently right now to construct a micro home village, which is like a cottage community with very tiny homes where individuals, couples, and families who have been presented as homeless will then, when they're ready to move out of hotels, because we don't have a shelter here, Sean and his housing team can work with them, site them in one of the tiny homes until we can get them ready to move on and be economically stable. We have raised over $915,000 of our own to do that. We just submitted a CDS for $711,000, I believe that's right. We have a $500,000 matching grant opportunity from a private citizen in Prince Edward. So the CVS would match that 500. The project all total is $2.3 million, and we're looking at 10 tiny homes and a community center. That's a huge undertaking for us, that magnitude with it being construction. But the second part of that, and even really more exciting but more long-term, is our work on Israel Hill. Israel Hill was historically a slave plantation, and we were able to purchase about 50 acres of land from that site. We're now working with a firm out of Richmond named Milbella that is helping us do a master site plan. It will have townhomes, single-family homes, duplexes, 150 units senior living ability, 150 units of multifamily housing. There'll be walking trails. There'll be a 50 childcare center, 50-person childcare center on the property, and it's adjacent to High Bridge Trail. So right now we're still in the planning and the development, but the beauty of that is that we believe that as our economy begins to rebound, as federal and state government resources come up, and then even private resources, we won't be able to get a shovel in the ground probably before I retire, but that's okay. If we do all of the heavy lifting and the design work, we are very excited. All total, it's around 450 units, living units that would be on that property, anywhere from affordable housing units to habitat homes, and then market rate for sale and rental homes. So when I say that housing has become evidently the greatest need in this region, we're trying to step into that space and alleviate that.
Where
So
will the mini homes be? Will they be there or will they?
they'll be in
Micro.
farm. They will not be on Israel Hill.
Okay.
There is a piece of property on Industrial Park Road that has 13 acres. Is that right? Craziest thing you've ever seen. The county's working to have it added to the tax sale. And so we're hoping to be able to purchase that piece of property. We do have a fallback plan that's not ideal, but in the event that the sale doesn't happen in 2026, then we'll go to our second choice. For us, the siting of that village is critically important.
Yeah.
We anticipate an outcry from the community, don't put it in my backyard kind of stuff, which really hurts my heart, but it is what it is. So the piece of property is on Industrial Park Road. It's just maybe less than a mile from our corporate office. It's on the road to the Piedmont Regional Jail. Other than a trailer and mobile home community right there, very few single family homes. So we feel like that would be an appropriate place to site this. I mean,
And where there's some farmland that people might take that over some solar panels.
well, you know what? We could put the micro village in the middle and have solar panels all the way around. And in all honesty, with some trees or whatever, we would be fine. But when we're trying to select a piece of property, because of the population we're working with, it is critically important we have access to transportation.
So you gotta have
Social
the
security.
amenities,
Yeah, you got to have the infrastructure there. So as much as I would love to site it here in Nottoway, because my heart's here, it just makes better sense to put it in Farmville. So, what else, you guys, for me?
I don't see anything, Miss Harriet.
Just leave your phone number so we can call you.
Logan knows how to track me down. John has my phone. And just in case, Mr. Ingram, here's a business card and my cell phone is on it. So in the meantime, if there's anything I can do, please let me know. But I would like to introduce to you Sean Rozier. Oh, wait, I do have other things. And Logan, I'm going to give you a stack for the other board members because we didn't include them. But this is last year's annual report. And hopefully you will see some of the impactful work that our team is doing. And I will bring up Sean to talk about our request for domestic violence and sexual assault services.
Well, thank you, Sharon, so much.
Thank you. And thank you for the good wishes on retirement. I appreciate that.
Well, don't worry, we'll be in touch.
Well, don't worry, I will not be involved as involved as you are. How's that? That's the level I'm not going to commit to.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't
Sean Rozier, nice to meet you.
I think I met you
am
before.
Logan. Nice to
Hi,
meet you.
Logan.
Well, we appreciate it.
Well, as Sharon said, I'm Sean Rozier. I'm Vice President of Empowerment Services for STEPS. Excuse me for the allergy season residual here. I'm here to talk to you about our domestic violence and sexual assault services. And I want to start by piggybacking on what Sharon said, our heartfelt thanks for the county's support as we have tried to get these services brought back into the region. Y'all supported us early on with requests, and so our request this year is level funding, which we've pretty much consistently maintained since we got we were working on getting back into this. So it's $15,000. That's not changing. Of course, our biggest thank you and celebration was reopening Madeline's house in September 30, 2024. So we had all the counties to support us, and we had the support of the community at large in amazing ways to be able to reopen that facility in less than 2 years. Was a pretty amazing thing to watch unfold. So we're very grateful to everyone. This past fiscal year, we served 166 individuals in 96 households in our domestic violence sexual assault services program. Important distinction is that not everything in those services happens at the shelter. So we have a community-based part of the program where we go to court with victims of domestic violence or seeking protective orders. We also go to the Southside Community Hospital's emergency department on an on-call basis as a part of our sexual assault recovery program for when there are forensics examinations that occur there. And when we do that, we're just providing emotional support to victims, our staff are, and then follow-up information on services that they can access going forward. And then often that could be the shelter. But we stood that up in October of 2024, about a month after we opened Madeline's house. And in the fiscal year that ended June 30th, we had 31 calls for ED accompaniment. And then that involved, sadly to say, 10 child victims. So, and just for reference, we are serving 7 counties with this program around the Farmville area in the planning district, and that would also include Charlotte County, which normally we're not their community action agency, but we do they do access our services for this. Just I guess kind of a reminder of how this is set up. This is a 24/7 program. It runs all the time, and we have a hotline that runs right along with it. So anytime we can be called where somebody is in danger and needs support. The other aspect of that, I think we bring a service to the county in that our law enforcement partners, both in the county and in the towns, can reach us, at any time of night.
I meant to ask this because I told everybody that, it's going to be the same, pretty much same repetitive questions that I ask most people. If we don't fund this, and this first time the county's been live too, so everybody can actually go back and see with their own eyes, hear with their own ears, and see exactly what the programs are doing if the county decides to fund them and stuff. But without this funding, because I just did the math, you had 166 people that you help, that $15,000 comes to $90 a person, but that's not limited to that. If it had been 1,000 people, that same amount would have been covered. Correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay. So without this funding, what does it do to y'all?
Well, it impacts our ability to start with to match other funds that we can bring down. And for instance, would be this past September, we were able to get a HUD grant, Housing and Urban Development, to serve Madeline's house residents with accessing permanent housing. Because that's the goal when you come to a shelter. We're trying to get you to a permanent, more stable solution going forward. So we were with match and all. That reward came to $463,000. And so that's one thing that we lose the ability to utilize those funds. These funds do, pay for staff costs for, our sheltering, for our advocacy, for our ED accompaniment. So as funding decreases, staffing levels, can be impacted. So we really want to, provide the most robust quality service to our residents when they call and ask for help.
Right.
And so it can impact service delivery, if it's not funded, and when you're trying to cover a 24/7 program, that's a pretty large commitment that we are making as an organization.
Well, guys, I don't have any
I
questions.
don't even, thank you for,
Can I
I
weigh
think
in
we
on
all,
that?
we all realize.
Can I weigh in on your question? Sean is correct that primarily our county funds do come into a pool for matching dollars. But I also think in the time of diminishing matching grants, we don't want to stand up here and say that we would cut services in the county. It would really hurt my heart to do that in the county in which I live. But if we're ever pressed to that, there would have to be a prioritization of services.
Right.
And my ask of you all would be to truly consider the impacts that you see from the investments that you make with us, because all total between our domestic violence and, our community action work, it really is a small percentage. So I would just plead, don't put us in the position where we have to prioritize services. And the other part for us is that right now we do have financial commitments from the other counties. So we're blessed with that. But again, if that's a decision you guys have to make, then hopefully you will respect us with the decision that we would have to make.
Right. Well, I think, especially with domestic violence, if you read our local paper,
Yeah, this week.
you see that. So, I mean, we don't understand.
Yeah. Well, and then in last week's paper was the incident with the number of homeless people at the park.
Right.
And, how Sean and his team stepped in and really helped get them rehoused. So I respect you for asking that as a taxpayer. I respect you for asking that, but I am hopeful that you will see your way clear for the level funding. And that's the only reason we're asking for level funding this year, is because we know, as a Nottoway citizen and a taxpayer, what we are facing.
Right.
So, I want a new courthouse that's safe for everyone involved.
Right.
But
We all do.
yeah, but I don't want to pay more taxes.
No,
But
well-
I will if that's what's necessary to keep everybody safe.
Right.
But I just wanted to jump in. Sean handled the question beautifully, but I
Yeah.
thought I would just
We
contribute a little
appreciate
extra.
that.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming.
Got about 15 minutes. That's what that is.
Hi, y'all have a great day.
Y'all too.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We will do our best.
Yes, ma'am.
We know that. We
Take
know
care.
that.
Give me some of these. Keep forgetting to get them back and use them in the store.
Really?
Yes. And I'm thinking about it now, but I'll forget about it.
I'll send you a reminder.
Yes, yeah. Don't forget your little plastic display.
Right?
I'm gonna run grab my drink out of the truck while I'm doing this. Got some alcohol in it. Folks, I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding.
So far, I think everybody's been very reasonable. So far. Text probably good too. I should have taken some of the stuff. No, when I got this formal paper yesterday and I saw this,
Ooh.
that can be a godsend. Because we know the expenses we're gonna have with school buildings. And this is a way to help cover those. This veterans thing is very, you don't realize you got that.
You know, before I started working for the county and actually got in the administration office, I didn't know that that actually existed. And
I
I
didn't
think a
either.
lot of citizens don't realize there's certain services in the county or accessible through the county that
Absolutely.
nobody knows about.
I think, when you got volunteers going out and doing things like that, folks need to know about that. Because we always hear about the bad stuff. We never hear about the good stuff.
And that, it sounds like it does a lot of good,
Oh, yeah.
especially the way she's saying the grants and stuff.
Yeah. Well, BA, I personally know several veterans that live in the county. I don't know if they know this is available or not.
Right?
Year after year, they impress me every year. There's so much team service.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I was telling John, a lot of people do not know these things exist. So they don't take advantage of it. That lady with the veterans thing, I was shocked. I didn't know that we had that.
I already got her scheduled for 2 meetings and she don't know it.
Well, that makes sense. If it's there, the VA, of course, I'm sure is funding a lot of what they're doing, but hey.
You think about like the buildings and crew, especially like the bank,
Right.
that could be a business incubator. That could be something for the veterans.
Certainly.
Some of that stuff like that. And they have the wherewithal and already know the access to the grants and to probably connect the dots like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's, I don't know what First Citizens are planning on doing with that building. But that's a heck of a building.
Yeah.
There was 2 banks,
Mm-hmm.
and then they joined it.
The First Citizens Bill?
Yes.
Wow,
There
I
was
didn't
2
know
banks,
that.
yeah. You had First National Bank and Bank of Crew.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
To make a crew, but I knew they merged them. That's right.
I always knew it as just First Citizens.
No.
I didn't know there was some.
Yeah, there was a Bank of Crew, which is where I had my first checking account. And then next door was, I think it was, what was that? Maybe it was National Bank, I don't know, National Bank of Crew or something, I don't know. So like I said, they were 2, if you look at the buildings, you can tell they were 2 different buildings.
Right. I was trying to remember what that little brick building is.
Oh, that was Wilson's 5 and 10.
All right, but what is it now?
There's nothing.
It's not, that's what I thought. That's a
It's
nice
vacant.
little brick building.
It's a nice little building. I don't know. When there was a couple that ran it, must have been Wilson. And when they passed away, it pretty much, they closed it. And nothing's ever been in there since that I know of.
I told my wife a couple of weeks ago and she told me to slow down. So I had a business model because like in this area, you don't have I wasn't looking at a high-end clothing store for children, but I was looking at
Right.
something that's durable, a little bit more durable.
Yeah.
And guess what I was gonna name it? Little Britches. Little Britches. And she loved the idea. She goes, John, you just had a stroke a little over a year. And slow down.
Right.
Slow down.
Well, see, the problem you run into with things like that, Walmart.
Yeah.
Somebody opening up a business like that around here will have a hard time
Right.
because of the fact that folks going to Walmart, they're gonna buy their kids stuff like that. And, you go back and look at it, it's, I tried to convince, when I was teaching school, my students come out, why doesn't Crew have a grocery store? I said, listen, you gotta understand that people are in business to make money.
Yeah.
I said, and Walmart, I used to show my students a video of Sam Walton when he first got started. If you look at Walmart, his goal was to have a Walmart every 30 miles.
Yep.
You know why? Because if you're sitting right here, if you're right in the middle, 15 miles to go to Walmart, 15 miles to go to Walmart. Think about Food Line. Food Line has copied that.
So is Dollar General.
Dollar Jones.
Tripled it. More
I
stuff.
was gonna say, yeah.
But you think about Food Line, everybody says, well, Food Line's come to Crew, but look at, you got a Food Line in Victoria, you got a food line in Blackstone, you got a food line in Amelia, then you got the food line at Palm.
Right.
So why would somebody put a food line in Bruce? Just, well, see, the problem we have is that the elderly people not being able to drive to get there. That's the big thing. You don't have that
Yeah.
ability to go to those stores.
Hi, ma'am, how are you?
Good, how are
Come
you?
on in.
You come on in.
Hello.
I didn't know somebody was in front of me, so.
How you doing, ma'am?
Good.
to see you.
Good to see you again. How are you?
Yes, ma'am, good.
How's court services going? Busy, or is everybody behaving? We already know that.
Yes, you already know that. So I'm not really court services because I consider the JPO, they're the court service
Right,
unit,
right.
so.
Got you, dear.
And I think mine's pretty simple.
Yes,
compared.
okay. I want to thank you for clearing up some stuff for some folks. The court fees,
Yes,
thank you.
you're welcome,
I think some folks were jumping on
without the information.
exactly,
Yes,
and that happens all the time.
all the time.
But anyway, we appreciate you doing that. And I think it was a very, everybody could understand what happened with Sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for them, but I mean, I think it was, just thinking they needed an order or being told
Right.
that
Exactly.
and then waiting for it and then not, so it was
Yeah, it was.
all mixed in the middle of
Exactly,
that.
there was nobody neglecting you.
No, for sure,
Exactly.
100% not. It was not.
Exactly. But
It
it
was not.
became a big headline.
It did.
So anyway, well, thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
But I do know y'all did reject the new, fragrance emitter over there, didn't you?
We did. So,
Okay.
so considering the fact that my office has no windows
Right.
that opened, we were essentially hotboxed.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure you were.
And it was awful. Some people could smell it, some people got used to it, some people couldn't. But when you've got staff and
Oh, yeah.
coworkers and stuff like that that are having migraines and
Oh, yes.
stomach issues and all those things from an intense smell, like,
Yeah.
of course at home, I know how, I grew up on a farm.
Me
I know what happens when you get sprayed and
Certainly.
what animals get sprayed. And one of the things you have to do is open up windows and fans
That's
and
right.
have to circulate it out.
Yep.
And it was just
Yeah.
stuck right there. And so, but the cleaning of the carpets and those machines brought in has helped tremendously.
That's
You can
good.
still get a whiff, but it's completely
Nothing like it was.
nothing like it was. Exactly.
All right.
Well, where I'm looking at, everything seems to be the same except for the telephone, and that's,
Right, and-
that's understandable.
Correct. And the thing with that is that I know that me and Kate have been trying to get on the county's phone system.
Right.
So we do have the quote that had come in to run the lines,
Okay.
so that we're hoping that's gonna get us off of bright speed and
Right.
AT&T for long distance and stuff like that. And that would lower our costs from that.
Good.
But we just don't know when it's gonna
Yeah.
actually happen. We're just waiting on them to tell us when.
Right.
So we are trying. The phone budget is the biggest one
Yeah.
because of all the phone lines.
Right.
So y'all are expecting it to be within this coming fiscal year?
We're hoping.
Just don't know yet.
Right. they've given us the quote, and I think it's whenever they can get and run the lines, and then I guess I get with the IT person,
Daniel.
Daniel, about the actual phone. So I may end up having to use some of the money of my phone budget to buy new phones because the phones I currently have, I don't think will work.
I don't think so. I think it's specifically, and usually Daniel orders them and we
Right.
just pay for them.
Correct.
Because he knows which ones tie into
Right.
the system like it needs to.
Correct. So that would be the only thing is that I, just don't know how much they will cost
Right.
and the number of phones that I do have to have. So
And Mary, it just, I know it's a minimum thing here, but what exactly are the dues and memberships?
So the judges have dues and memberships.
Okay.
So that's what it is. So
Okay.
it's for and I think that it's I give a copy of it when I do it when she is done and reimbursed for it. So it's whatever their membership dues that they have for being judges. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
like since she's our
more of a home judge. It comes here,
Mhm.
whereas I think Amelia and Powhatan pay for different other things where
Right.
she sits and stuff. So
Okay.
this is the one that we get.
Okay.
I didn't put the name down. I didn't write the name down. But it would probably be somewhat close as the same what Leanne and them have to do, just to keep up with their licenses and certifications
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't bring last year's. I've only brought this year's fiscal
That's
stuff. So, and I think it's usually paid maybe in the spring. So we
I
haven't
think so.
Yeah.
done it yet. So.
Okay.
And I will speak to Mary's request for the phones. We have had so many dealings with Brightspeed about payments being made, not applied correctly, and having to ask for reimbursements or credits because they're not doing like it's supposed to. And we've showed adequate payments on time and everything. Dawn has been doing that for 2-3 years now, and it's still a headache that she's still keeping up with. AT&T as well has been a little bit of chaos. They'll get phone calls and it's acting like it's no service, even though the bill's paid, everything looks like it's fine. They've called, checked on it, and they don't know what the problem is or don't know how to fix
So-
it. So
Yeah, so as far as that is concerned, we did figure out what that
Okay.
issue was. So during COVID, we had a message that was left on it because we were getting so many phone calls. And so it was a message that got left. If the phone would normally ring busy, it
Right.
would give a message that says, this is what's going on. Here's some places you like online, you can do this, blah, 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 email address. So then it stopped. For whatever reason, that message stopped. I don't know how it stopped or why it stopped, but it did. And so then instead of it ringing busy, the phone would say goodbye and hang up on you.
Yeah.
And we would call Brightspeed and they would say, no, it's not. Okay. So we argued with that for a while. And so one of my deputy clerks, she made it her mission to get it figured out. And so she stayed on the phone with them for a long period of time, over a couple of days. Finally, they got that fixed. But the interesting thing is now people do not understand what a busy signal is. So they call our office or call other offices in the complex, and we've had people come over. They're saying that your phone line is going beep, beep, beep. So that's a busy signal.
Yeah.
That means, so we only have one incoming line for our
Right.
office. And so, so that's been interesting. So people think that our phone lines are not working, but they're really just busy.
Busy,
Like it's, so, but yeah, it was something to figure out because it was telling them goodbye and just hanging up on them instead of just ringing busy. So now we at least got the busy signal, but now people don't understand what a busy signal. I mean,
I want that recording from these telemarketers to call my house. Goodbye.
goodbye, hang up the phone. That's what it was doing to them. It didn't give them any opportunity. It was goodbye, hang up. So
and with the new phone system, will y'all have more than one line with that?
No.
Or it'll still be
So it'll be one incoming
One
line.
incoming.
No, we do have, like right now, we have a private line, whereas like sheriff's office, deputies, court people that, need to be able to get to us. They have our line to call. We answer as hello. We don't associate it with the actual, we want people to call the 9312 number.
Right.
And then we have a fax line. Our credit card machines now go through the Ethernet cable. So
Yeah.
that's probably one of the lines that we can do away with. We just don't have the staff or the whatever to answer more than one phone line at a time.
Makes sense.
So, I mean, by the time you got the counter and then somebody's answering the phone and then dealing with everything else, we don't have enough people to answer more than one phone line. So, it should stay one. But then we have the lines on the benches because since COVID, we have been doing a lot more telephone hearings for people out of state and different other things. And so we do have to have those in the courtrooms. So.
I don't know. I didn't have anything.
I don't either. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And thank you for clearing up the court fees.
You're welcome. We try to do all we can.
I know you
So
Appreciate it. Sorry about this comment.
it's okay. It's maybe funny now, but it really wasn't
Oh, I
funny
knew it wasn't funny.
at the time.
I knew a guy that used to take care of that stuff, critter getter.
I've heard about you.
Yeah.
But I've had an interesting run, and I'll tell you what, when you have a Tyvek suit and a full face respirator, and you go up under there with a catch pole, you catch him, and you pull him out, and you pull him out, and he's just
Spraying the whole time.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
It is absolutely awful. And I mean, like, you know, maintenance and everybody did everything they possibly
Yeah.
could. It's just one of those things that happened.
Right.
And I
In
think,
a rural area, you know what's gonna happen.
right.
They
And I
come
mean,
in my yard.
What was that song? Ooh, that smell.
that would be it.
Yep.
But it was not a pleasant smell.
Right.
Anyway,
Well,
good
thank you
seeing
very
you.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Oh, I do have one thing for you, Logan. I didn't know whether or not that email, yeah, I'm sure you forgot. I got something on that. So
Yes, I took care of this.
Okay.
All right,
that's
thank you
good.
very
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Yeah, it's just, there's nothing there to cut.
Potential spam.
And I will say with her phone lines, it is very well needed because we
Yeah.
Oh,
had
I'm
a
sure.
lot of phone calls about the goodbye hanging up and
Right.
everything, so.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds from what we're doing here today, but it's one of those things where it's like, whatever we invest in over there needs to make sure that it's incorporated to anything that's
Certainly.
going to be, you know,
Yeah,
as far as remodel or anything like that.
Yeah, and that would be a good thing because if they're running lines and stuff, if whoever goes in there, the lines would already run, so all you have to
Right.
do
Yeah.
is hook up the
Right.
phone. So that would be a plus.
Yeah, if they give her one line, that's fine with her limited staff there, but it would be nice to have the ability to add.
Add to it,
lines,
yeah.
you know, for whatever goes in there.
And I'll be honest, if we had to, I'm pretty sure Daniel would help us with getting that set up as quick as possible if it was needed.
And who is Daniel with? I don't think I've ever met him.
He's with GCR.
Okay.
I don't know what it stands for. I
Right.
just know acronyms. That's what we normally use.
Right. Sometimes you just throw some letters out there. Oh, yeah, that one.
Right?
Well, sometimes those letters, John, you weren't there when I put the letters on the folks from Amplify.
Was that last year or last?
I'm not gonna say it.
Oh.
I'll tell you later. They had all the letters up there with the people who were talking to them. We would have that meeting with them on that big screen.
Okay.
And there's like 5 or 6 people up there, and so-and-so had this and this under their name, so-and-so had this and this under their name. I said, okay, I got some numbers. That was for you too. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's see.
Our next one will be Crossroads.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. They want an increase of 12,000. Am I looking at that right?
Yes,
Okay.
different super, yeah, 12.
Yes, 12,248. And I will mention a lot of the ones that y'all have seen other than the departments. SEPS was doing level funded, which they both mentioned.
Right.
Piedmont area veterans, last year we did 2,500 and this year they're asking for 5,000. So they are asking for an additional 25. I don't know if that was in there.
No,
I was
it
looking
didn't
for it
say
and
it.
I didn't
Yeah, I didn't
think
see
I
it.
saw it, but I just wanted to bring that.
You just said request was 5.
Instead of 25. 2,500. I know this next folks do a lot of good work. Who's, I'll ask the question, what county is in Crossroads?
You talking about
What county is in with them?
Oh, pretty much, I think most of them the same ones that like.
With all the other stuff we have,
Yeah,
yeah,
about 6 or 7.
right, okay.
Yeah, and I would ask them too, and I mean respectfully with this, like when they say number of services.
Right,
What that is, that could be one person getting 10 different
That's
things
right.
and they counted as 10.
That's right.
you know, but it's still a service performed, you know, because when you look at the numbers, they're like, oh, over 16,000 people, but there's only 15,000 in Nottoway. So
I think, you know, if some of this stuff, I'm imagining now, I may be wrong, some of the stuff might be school kids too,
let's see,
with the referrals to mental health and that type of thing. I don't know.
it may be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I've never sat on their board.
Right.
So,
See, my mother served on that board for a while,
right.
back in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
And it says there's 7 counties.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense. That's the usual thing we get in the 7 counties. Right.
And most of the time it's the same majority of the same group, but every once in a while one different one will be tagged.
Right. Pretty much probably what STEPS does. But they're probably in the same group.
Yeah, and see, a lot of these programs, they seem to overlap, like
Yeah.
STEPS and Piedmont Senior Resources,
Right.
Crossroads Services, and then Social Services.
Right.
And that's where, you know, some people are like, well, we've got this, we've got that, but some of them do overlap the exact same
Yeah.
services, but, you know, until the need is filled, and a lot of this is citizen driven.
That's right.
It's kind of like the rescue squad. You know,
Exactly
You don't
right.
need 3 ambulances, except for the fact that the citizens call. You know, it's the same thing with this. There's needs. So,
Here you go, John. There it is right
oh, yep.
there. That's it right there.
Mhm.
See that logo? The line right here. What's the cost for the difference?
Okay.
See that line?
Mm-hmm.
So
So
required
that's,
match.
it's required 10% match. That's it. So, I mean, that explains it.
Mhm.
The state's saying, you gotta do this. The individuals do not have insurance coverage or fall under federal poverty guidelines for services. Well, that makes sense too.
Mhm.
Yep.
This might
Mhm.
be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. I've had discussions about that.
It's my first year here. Tried to turn that thing over.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yep.
And it wasn't just Nottoway, it was 2 other counties that were trying to turn that thing over with
Yeah.
us together, so.
Yeah.
Sometimes people enjoy comfort more than they do the obvious.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
I finally got to wear my shirt today. I know it says staff, but you know, it's
Look
the
at
shirt.
you.
It's the one that.
Hey, I wear mine all the time underneath my shirt. I said, I got an extra t-shirt
I
now.
just like the fact that, you know, we are Nottoway, you know, I know it says staff on it.
Right.
Obviously, I don't work for the school, but
Right.
I like the shirt. If I had a chance to. Then tell you what else I did. The temperature got right, and I said, I'm bringing ice cream into the store. I got ice cream in the
Oh,
store.
good.
Nice.
Excellent.
Got Butterfingers, all kind of stuff up in
Oh,
there.
man.
Nice.
Folks will be rolling in. Let them know you got it. That's a big thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got some pictures and stuff to put up, so.
All right, cool.
And it worked. Got the people back at the store working and trying to go from 60, 65 hours a week to 30.
Okay,
Don't blame me.
good idea.
Yeah. They did that brain scan and I got a problem. They found very little brain.
Oh, goodness.
I used to tell people all the time, they look at my ear, I said, what you see on the other side?
Yeah, and it's something that I cannot try something or another. They think it's with a nerve here where it comes together, something that might be this, but it's in the wrong spot. And of course, when I read the report, it says about a lesion on the brain, and I'm like, I just set the phone down. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
God. And, but I haven't talked to my doctor, but I think the lesion is from where I blew my brain blew off the gasket, you know, so. I think
Yeah,
that's
you
what
don't
it is.
know. It's, like me, I didn't have any idea I had a blockage in a artery going through my brain.
Right.
And so I have a CT scan done by my neurologist because he was gonna go in here and fix my spine.
Mhm.
And he said, well, I won't give a CT. So he got the CT scan. He called me and said, Mr. Ingram, I want you to go get an MRI now. So I went and got the MRI. He called me up. He says, you've got a blockage in your left vertebral artery. He says, I'm sending you to doctor. He says, and he's gonna take care of that. So I went to, that's why I missed a meeting.
Right.
Because he went in there and he put a stent in my right vertebral artery.
Right.
To get the blood to your brain.
Wow.
So I was getting dizzy and I stand up too quick, I'd get
Oh,
dizzy.
yeah.
And so right now, everything's working okay.
Wow. Hey, sir. How are you?
We live, brother.
Well, that's Bo.
We
Toad.
live. Yeah, we live.
Congratulations, Mr. Toad.
On,
How's the knee?
it hurts a little bit, but it hurts more right here than the knee does.
Oh, man.
That's as hard as I've been kicked in a minimum, and I've been kicked up high.
Right. Tell Mandy, don't do that anymore.
Oh,
Wow.
it sounded like a shotgun went off.
Do you want me to rub it for you?
I need to get a brace.
Wait a minute, I'm turning my head.
Yeah.
Cut your TV off.
What's the time?
We are waiting
We're on Crossroads.
Crossroads, yeah. Everybody so far has been very,
Somebody's
very
coming
good.
Good.
Bo. And we found, I've learned some things I didn't really know.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all in order. So when I was at home, then you just look at the next one. I didn't.
Hey, dear, you was Crossroads, right?
No, we're with Piedmont. We're a little early.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem, no problem.
We can just hang out over here.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're ready.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Ernst, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Hey, how are you?
I did,
How are you? Are you Zachary?
Yes.
Okay. We're waiting. You're good. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm Logan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Zach Preston, sir.
where would you like it?
You can have a seat up here.
Oh,
Hey, man, how you doing, man?
Hey, Zach.
yeah, hey, no. Good to meet you.
Hey, good to see you.
Zach, if you just want to jump right in, man, we see here that there's a increase in the required match, and of course we're live. So one of my things I was, I wanted everybody to pretty much ask the same question, so the citizens can hear it and see it with their own ears and eyes. Is this if we don't fund this, what happens?
So that is unknown. So it's a requirement. These funds are part of the agreement that the counties entered into when Crossroads was founded to meet this 10% match. And that's universal across all the CSBs, whatever locality they provide services for are responsible for meeting that. What happens if we do not? The state has given us very little information on that in terms of what their recourse is. We as a Crossroads have no, there's nothing we can do to the counties that would be detrimental that I'm aware of.
Right.
So honestly, there's not a good answer I can give to you for that.
Right.
But maybe a possibility for them to subsidize part or all of this, the state, if you come in underfunded?
No, the state does not give us additional funds if we're underfunded. We have to go through a waiver process with the state. It's pretty intensive. It winds up being like a 2 to 3 month process back and forth with documentation that we have to obtain from the county administrators to explain why, they were unable to meet the contribution that was requested.
But the county would still get the services even if they didn't fund it, is that correct?
As far as I'm aware, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's just, obviously everybody knows the situation we're in. I
Yes.
mean, it's, nobody wants to be in this situation, but we are. So we gotta face reality of what we're dealing with, and but also we're not going to put the citizens in a situation where they're going to be harmed, you know. So
Well, if you look at it, you'll see that line there that says, due to the expected increase in state funding, 10%, we were required to do a 10% match. So,
And at the board's pleasure, there were some changes that occurred with our last board meeting. Actually benefits Nottoway County in terms of a reduction in the request amount.
okay.
I've got some sheets here that I can share.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There's 3 there and 1 here. The amount of the request for Nottoway County would be reduced to $79,380. So it's a $3,569 increase amount.
Gotcha.
And that is using the model that we had used for previous years in terms of utilization rates to come up with that. We had a pretty large increase in state funding, which bumped our amount that we had to request from the counties up by $89,736.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
The board requested that we maintain that model instead of using the unilateral increase that we had done, which was $12,768 for all 7 counties. So that brings the increase for Nottoway in the request only up $3,569 total.
we love the R word, reduce.
Yes, sir. And I'll draw your attention to the locality service. So Nottoway has been fairly consistent in terms of the number of services received every year, averaging right around that 15,500 total services for Nottoway County residents, which comes to 13.5% of our annual caseload.
Well, and we were talking a little bit before you came in here with these numbers, because if someone looks at these numbers, they could be skewed, because, you know, Nottoway only has 15,000 people. When you look at it, it's like, well, how is it over that number? Well, y'all count each individual and each number of service. So one person could get 10 services and they count it 10 times because you did provide the
Correct.
service.
Correct.
Right.
In terms of what Crossroads is doing, the last few years, as we've talked, has been a strong focus on improving our infrastructure in terms of systems and what going towards the services we're able to provide. We were very archaic, working on paper for everything.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that has been modernized. Now the focus has shifted to policy, procedure, moving the organization to the modern age with that. Some policies that, you know, I'm sure Nottoway is no different, but some policies have been about the same for the last 20 years.
30 or 40.
well, that too.
And Mr. Ingram asked the interesting question earlier too before you got here. This helps children as well, is that correct?
Correct. So now there was a reduction in school-based services because the federal government took back a section that was under ARPA funding.
Right.
It was the school-based program, but we still do get school-based services through the mental health block grant.
Okay.
We do receive funding for that. That helps us get into the schools and provide services there. So yes, we still do have children's services.
Okay.
It's just not as prevalent as it was when that funding stream was there.
I got you.
Now these funds are directly allocated to mental health outpatient and mental health ES. The way that they're allocated, it is to assist the organization with the individuals who are on Medicaid or either fall under the federal poverty guidelines. So basically what happens there is based on their income, if they're only able to afford $1, that's all the agency winds up charging based on their income.
I got you.
And that's Medicaid, not
Yeah.
Medicare.
No, sir, Medicaid.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is our primary funding source
Okay. Okay.
for our clients.
So let me ask the question on the school deal. Do the schools refer you to these people, or are they referred to you from the schools, or do you know?
So I don't know in depth, but I know there's a combination. So if folks are receiving like some case management services, or if the school recognizes a need, they have connections with our therapists that provide the children's services.
And just real quick, do you know roughly the number? Cause I'm looking at so many numbers and the day just started really, but the amount of money that's been put back into Nottoway for services, do you know roughly what that number is?
No,
Last year.
yeah, I mean, we can go back and look at, we can pull some stuff together to show like time in addition to the services provided.
Right.
But in terms of facility or whatnot, there are no facilities in Nottoway County. Most of the services I would assume are provided at either Amelia or the Prince Edward location.
Right.
And what y'all actually do, is there any fees back to the clients that you serve?
Just whatever the copay is for their insurance.
Okay.
And that's where at that point, just say it's $10 for Medicaid and they fall under those poverty guidelines.
Right.
That's when it's reduced down based on that.
Gotcha. All right. And I don't mean to ask you so many questions, but like I said,
No,
we're
no.
live and it's good to have, so people can see this.
Yeah, the people need to know if we're putting this money into your program, what exactly does your program do for the citizens of the county? That's what we're trying to do, is prove to the citizens we're not wasting this money.
And I know there's questions about, oftentimes questions about what we do. So of course,
Certainly.
Crossroads is mental health, substance use, and a residential programs
Right.
for developmentally and intellectually disabled.
Right.
We have ES services. We've increased our same day access number of days. So if I believe we're up to 3 days a week where if an individual comes in, they walk away with either an appointment or seen that day,
Good.
Good.
based on the need.
But y'all aren't like 24/7 availability, are you?
So we're 24/7 with CTAC, which is if an individual comes in with a TDO or ECO, on an emergency basis, we have therapists on call to bring in to kind of take the pressure off the hospitals and the police department that's sitting at the hospital.
So y'all do evaluation then?
Yes, sir.
All right, what about when you talk to a law enforcement officer and he tells you he spent half the night down in Norfolk getting somebody evaluated, why did he have to go all the way to Norfolk? Or Richmond, Petersburg, but Norfolk is where I think it's the most commonplace.
So I believe that has to do with transfers to the state hospitals. I believe is what that has to deal with.
Okay.
But in terms, most of what we see are with the local PDs, at our facility.
Okay.
And we, of course, we have local police officers that we put on call as well when they're off from the county, to where it relieves those who should be on the streets.
Right, I was gonna say, it takes them off of active duty.
Yeah.
When they stay up at, like, this officer is a deputy, it's been a couple of years ago. He spent 9 hours in Norfolk. 9 hours, there was a deputy missing from our county.
Well, and as I understand it, once they get them to y'all, they're free. They come back.
Yes, because we have a police officer on site.
That would take over and okay.
And then the person who has the ECO on them, they have to arrange transportation if y'all release.
I'm not 100% sure how that back end works. But yes, they work to find that bed for the individual at one of the state hospitals.
All right. Looks like our time is late.
We appreciate it, sir.
No, I'm good.
You answered some good questions.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions that come up, feel free to give myself or Dr. Moore an email. We're happy to pass along more information whenever needed.
All right,
We
sir.
have 2 more of these for the board members.
I got several.
Thank you.
No problem.
So much.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
He's got a bum leg over there.
Thank you.
I do too.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Good meeting
Good to meet you. Have a good one too.
you. Piedmont. Soil and water. Hello, ma'am, sir.
How are y'all doing today?
Yes, sir. Help yourself. Get my junk out of the way. No, that's fine. Good to see you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have some board members that are not here for various reasons, so if you could leave some for them, we'll get them to.
Thank you.
All right, if y'all want to go ahead, we're doing, you probably heard the crossroads. We're live for the first time. So citizens can see which services are being provided and what their money is going to help provide. So if you go ahead, that'd
Okay.
be fine. Yes, ma'am.
All right. We want to thank you for your support over the years of Piedmont Soil and Water Conservation District. And my name's Paula Totten, and I'm the new district manager. I'm taking over for Deanna Farah.
Oh, yeah?
She's-
Deanna should retire?
She will retire. Right now, she's still doing my finance.
Okay.
And she's also assisting with the watershed dam program
okay.
as well. So she's still there, and she's a great resource. So we're thankful for that. And then y'all probably all know Chuck. Chuck's here with me. He's our board treasurer. And we are asking for level funding for 27 of 8,500 for administrative support for conservation specialists and conservation technician positions and our education program and outreach. The district operates on primarily a grant basis to administer several water quality improvement programs, including assistance to our agricultural producers, septic assistance to homeowners, and stormwater runoff programs for homeowners. The handouts highlight the major accomplishments for July 24 through June 25 in Nottoway County. We have also included an annual report which covers the entire district. In addition, we have a new mobile soil and water education trailer, which will be used throughout the district to teach youth and citizens about our natural resources. The district administers a $107,070 grant for the Department of Environmental Quality that provides financial assistance to residents in the Flat, Deep, and West Creek watersheds to address residential septic system problems. In 24, we provided $1,100 in financial assistance to Nottoway County for septic pump outs. We appreciate the partnership that we have with Nottoway County Health Department to help us with this as well.
Can I ask you, and this is, I'll get in the weeds with this, but you just hit me with something that other counties require the homes to show proof that they have pumped their septic system. And like every 5 years.
Right.
And with part of my background, I understand the importance of that. But that's just something I just wanted to touch right now, but I may reach out to you about that to see if there's something that the county needs to be looking into because of I think it's more imperative that they do it because it's a cost effective. If the system begins to fail, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars to the homeowners.
Right.
So, but I'm sorry, I'm getting in the weeds.
Oh, no, you're fine. We also do offer in those same watersheds, if there is a repair,
Right.
we do offer some cost share for that as well to help with that costly repair.
How would a homeowner know to go about getting some cost share?
So that's why we partner with the health department,
Okay.
and the health department is aware of our program.
Okay.
And then a lot of the contractors, the septic
Right.
companies are aware of our program. We've tried to share
Okay.
that with them.
Right.
So they should be able to let them know, hey, you should reach out just to see if you can get some assistance.
Okay, 'cause I had that pump one out 2024. Nobody said anything about cost share. So,
Right. So we also administered $563,000 in cost share through our agricultural cost share program to assist farmers with planting over 9,000 acres of cover crops, implementing nutrient management practices, 14.6 acres of riparian buffers, and 9,200 feet of stream bank protection through our enrollment program. Nottoway, we have over 59,000 feet of stream bank protection enrolled. We also administer an after-school environmental education program at Nottoway Middle School on the third Thursday of each month. And we anticipate the same level of cost share funding to be allocated to our agriculture producers who install best management practices for water quality for 27.
How would that fall under solar? If the potential of solar coming to the county for buffers and assistance from you guys?
It's only if they're agriculture producers. So if they're put in place prior to, that's the solar companies are going to have to put those best management practices in. They should be doing that due diligence.
And if they are grazed underneath, where would that come in for you guys?
I don't know. That's a whole new realm.
Okay.
So the best.
We just gotta wait and see, kind of.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure as solar farms come into existence, that I'm sure there's going to be some kind of best management practices at some point that would be put in place for that.
And just so the public sees, how many counties and what are they that y'all cover?
We cover 3 counties. We cover Amelia, Nottoway, and Prince Edward counties.
Okay. And last question I have that comes to mind is other counties have access to a manure spreader like y'all do with your no-till drill.
Yes.
Has that ever been a consideration or a need?
It has not been considered, and I don't know if it's just because of the maintenance. I do know that we have dairies. We have a NIFWIP grant that we've just gotten approved for dairies, and that is
for manure storage, perhaps?
That is for manure injection.
Okay.
And it actually, yes, and so that is incentive. It incentivizes our dairy farmers to use the manure injection, and that also helps them to implement their nutrient management plans.
Unfortunately, Nottoway, to my knowledge, doesn't have any dairy farms.
Yeah, dairy farms are gone now.
We were one of them for 32 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're hoping it will expand.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the cover crops, is that just to help with the erosion? That's not a permanent thing, or is that just temporary, like if the field's been cut and you just need to cover?
Right. So if you've harvested your crop
Mm-hmm.
and then you go in and you put your cover crop in over the winter, and it does 2 things. So one thing it does is it covers the soil to help to make sure that there's no erosion. But also a lot of times those cover crops capture the nutrients that are left behind from the crops that you planted, was beans or corn, and it helps to hold those nutrients in place so that when you go in to plant your spring crops, your cover crop, when you kill it down, those nutrients are still there, and they actually break down into the soil and they become plant available. So it's like a bank of fertilizer. It helps to reduce the amount of fertilizers that you need.
And you get a big benefit from the organic matter of that.
Right.
From the crop after you burn it down.
And it helps to hold moisture.
Natural mulching.
Yes.
That's exactly what it does. Yeah.
Yes.
Clean water.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any questions, y'all.
I don't either. Y'all provide a wonderful service to
Is
us.
there any kind, I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm really huge into supporting cover crops, and as I've already mentioned, manure and all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is beyond your control,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't even have to state anything on it. But many times I have been told or asked that the nitrates that goes into depending on where you live, Chesapeake Bay watershed or Chewan.
Mm-hmm.
If you go over to the suburbs in Chesterfield and they put lawn fertilizer out, it looks like it snowed, and then you get rain on top of it, and it runs down into the city water sewage, which goes into the Chesapeake Bay. So we're capturing all that we can by doing these programs, but we need to go through the state and get something that's regulated over that of what they put, because our nitrate levels has gotten better, right?
Yes.
It's got a lot better.
Yes.
But if we could do something in that field, it would help a whole lot.
Right.
Well, see, the farmers get the blame.
Correct. That's where my point was.
But if you, and Bo's right. If you go out, and I used to live in Indiana, in Northern Virginia, and I mean, those companies would come, even in the rain, and spread the fertilizer, and then immediately got into it. And that's Chesapeake Bay. That's a tough industry to regulate.
It really is, because you got more people doing it by the square foot versus
Exactly.
a farmer that wants to enroll in your program is doing it by the acre.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's, like I said, the farmers get the blame, but the farmers are really really, it kind of cleaned it up.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I could talk to you guys, you just don't even know the questions. I could sit down and pick with y'all, but I'll be back in touch with some other stuff, but all good stuff.
Well, we
Thank y'all.
appreciate your time
Thank y'all
today.
so
We
much.
thank y'all
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for what you do.
Absolutely. Good to see each other.
Speak to my neighbor and tell him I saw y'all today.
Nice seeing you.
If we acknowledge it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your new position.
Oh, thank you. See you at our next meeting.
Take care.
Yeah, being a former chicken farmer, I know about the nutrients.
Yes, sir. It'll be a huge benefit if you capture it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ain't this but the cost share.
Hi, how can we help you?
Michael Simmons with Virginia Legal Aid Society.
Yep,
Yes,
you
sir.
have next,
Come on
buddy.
in.
Come right on in.
Where would you like me to sit?
Right up here, Sam, in the hot seat.
We started a little bit early on your time.
All right,
so
that's
hopefully
fine.
we finish a little bit.
But you the only one of you?
Yes, sir, I'm the
Okay,
only one.
Okay, all right. And we are live, just so you know.
All right.
Or either we are, if we're not live, we're what? We are.
Dead.
Yeah, no, it's,
Oh,
what do you call that? We like to watch ourselves.
Streaming.
Yeah. What is it? It's one of the 7 days. Vanity, vanity. We have to watch ourselves.
that's what I hope you selfie.
Yeah.
I don't even like that word selfie.
All right, so what we're trying to do is let each organization just give us an idea of what you do for our citizens. And we want them to know what's provided, what's available to them.
Yes, sir.
If we fund it and why we fund it.
Yes, sir. So again, my name is Michael Simmons. I am the managing attorney for Virginia Legal Aid Society's Farmville office. We have a number of offices, but the office that handles cases in Nottoway County is the Farmville office. And we have right now 3 attorneys and 1 traveling attorney who does housing cases. But what we focus on are a number of areas, including family law, housing, health and benefits, and then we'll take wills, estate planning cases as well, which include advanced medical directives and powers of attorneys. But those are the main areas we focus on, but we also try to help in any area that an individual calls to seek our services. But legal aid is a nonprofit law firm that represents low-income individuals. We do not charge clients, individuals for our services. So all of our services, if you qualify for them, are free. We also have what we call our law line, which is a group of our paralegals that do our intake, and they're the gatekeepers. They make sure that the individuals calling qualify for our services. They get their names, their information, and then they talk about their legal issue. If they qualify for our services, they will at least get advice. If the case that they come to Virginia Legal Aid for is one that the local offices are on intake for example, if we're handling a protective order, which we normally always do, and that's their issue, then they will get sent to a local office. Nottoway County, they'll get sent to our Farmville office, and either I or our managing attorney for the domestic violence, Pam DeCamp, will take those cases. So in the past year, I believe the document that we've provided you shows what we've done in Nottoway County alone. We have closed 50, so this is the second page of your information that we provided you, 57 cases. And that 57 cases included assistance for 125 individuals in Nottoway. And the funds recovered, 16,924, dispersed among different cases. And then the unjust claims avoided, 4,280. And that can be quite simply can be a landlord saying that a tenant owes $1,000, and we go into court, represent them, and try to make sure that they are not required to pay those unjust claims. So we do, and I think I've come to Nottoway County on 3 housing cases. I've either settled those cases or had those cases dismissed. Pam DeCamp has come in a lot more of the protective orders and custody cases. But that's the areas that we handle mostly. As you can see, there's 27 cases for family issues, 19 for public benefits, and 10 for housing. That's the main areas that we cover. And the last page has 2 of our case reports, and those are from this area about individuals. Again, these are not, if you'll see, they're not the actual names of our clients, but it's just their facts of what has happened here in Nottoway. So that's what we do. And we're always trying to, I try to take as many cases as I can, but of course with 3 attorneys, we can't handle every single case that comes in, but we do our best to represent as many people as we can and as well as we can. So that's legal aid in a nutshell. So do y'all have any questions for me?
I do have one. So, and because what I have, I really want people to see and hear for themselves impacts of if it's not funded. So if we don't fund you, what happens?
Well,
and the reason he's asking that is because our county, as you probably already know, is sort of struggling with some expenses.
Understood. So we have funding from many different sources, and we do not rely on one single source of income. And that's one of the good things about legal aid. We don't, if one area is not able to fund us, we're not going to be out of business. But every little bit helps that we get from each, we ask every single county that we are a part of, and this is all the way out to Lynchburg, the Danville area, and all the way to Suffolk, all the surrounding counties. We always ask for a proportionate part of what we are doing case-wise. But if we don't get funding from a county from a year, we are not going to stop representing individuals. It's not going to, it always impacts, financial, and y'all realize that, but you're not going to lose out on services just because you do not provide income or, support to legal aid in a year. And just like any other county, if they gave us what we asked for, they're not going to get additional services. Quite frankly, we try to represent, we're not going to withhold Nottoway's representation. If someone calls us and says, oh, we're from Nottoway, and I'm not going to say, oh, well, y'all didn't give us any funds, so we're not representing you. That's not how it works.
Do y'all get the federal funding?
We do. We get LSC, is the Legal Services Corporation. We get funding through there, and it's about, I think, a third or I don't remember completely. It's either a third or a quarter of our annual budget is from Legal Services Corporation, and then there's a Virginia Legal Services Corporation. We get that.
And out of these 57 that you represented, cases was 57, people was 125. Roughly how many of those were non-U.S. citizens?
I couldn't give you an answer. We are limited in how we can represent non-U.S. citizens. We have to verify that our clients are either U.S. citizens or they're in the United States legally. There is a provision for protective order cases that if a non-U.S. citizen can show that they are being abused physically, mentally, they have a protective order, we are able to make an exception to represent those individuals. But majority of our clients are U.S. citizens or in the United States legally.
I asked you that reason for this. It's been known that y'all have represented a few H-2A workers in our county. They're here legally on the visa program. Is there an income stream to see whether they can afford an attorney before?
Our clients have to meet I think it's 125% of the poverty level, which if it's for individual, one person individual, that's about $11,000 a year. It can go up to 150% for domestic violence. And we can consider a little bit more for domestic. We have more leeway with domestic violence cases than we do with other ones. But if you've looked at the federal guideline chart, it increases for every family member. I can't tell you, I'd have to look at the chart, but I think it starts off about 11,000 for an individual, and then it'll go up subsequently for each additional family member that you have. So yes, we have to look at that before we can say we're going to represent you.
I see. And for, go back to the non-US citizen, do you ever feel that some of them is more or less afraid to ask for legal assistance if they're here illegally?
I think there's a general, yes, I think that some may be hesitant to come to us if they're not here legally.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our clients.
Well, really they should, because they're still going through the court process. Correct?
I mean, yeah, sure. If they qualify for our services, you know, and they, for whatever reason, they don't meet the, you know, domestic violence avenue, you know, we can either possibly send them somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always best to ask to see if we can assist
Okay.
rather than not come to us.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Thank you
No,
so
I
much.
mean,
Appreciate it.
We certainly appreciate you coming to explain your service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely. And actually, I have, this is our new brochure, if y'all would like to keep.
Yeah, that'd be great.
This is our housing brochure.
Okay.
So just pass that on.
Here you go.
We have
Yeah.
a couple more people that we need to hang out to.
Good meeting you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work you do.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Well, that's one of the best investments we could make.
I will,
We didn't give them
Great.
any money last year, did we?
we did not for the last 2 fiscal
Yeah,
years.
we
I
won't.
didn't go back prior to that. I can certainly if y'all want me to look into it, but the last 2 we have not.
Well, we could cut that one 10%, John, give them 2,000.
How much funding did you say we give them last year?
We didn't give them
No,
anything.
we didn't give them any for the
So
last
why
2
we cut 'em
fiscal
off?
years.
I'm just saying,
Well, I'm looking at what they provide.
they provide a nice service.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
do, they do. They do.
And they're asking for 2,500.
I thought it was, is that all? I thought it was
That's all,
13,000.
2,500.
It was 13,000.
It's in the letter, Bo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess, a good thing to consider about that though is, even if you don't give them the money, they still.
Right.
That's
Right, plus they get some federal funding that takes that.
Yeah, and state also.
That's right.
You know,
I was glad to hear that it's getting federal funding. Especially if you're gonna represent what I inquired about.
right.
I don't need to repeat it.
Yeah, that's a messy slope, but it's still a pertinent question.
Yeah,
Our next one's not supposed to be at 11:30.
Y'all are rolling today.
We are. That means I'm gonna go right here.
we're cutting to the chase.
I shall return before the next person comes in.
All right, don't hurry back, Bo.
You know me, Mr. A.
Oh, me.
One thing I've always noticed about this process here is when you sit down with these folks, there's so much you can learn. It's like
Absolutely.
your mind is sitting there clicking. It's like, oh, I want to follow up with them and learn about this. I want to
Right.
follow with that. But most of the time, what county government doesn't allow it. You know, you just don't have enough hours in the
That's
day.
right. I think it's important for the citizens to know. I mean, we get all these, like I just read yesterday on Facebook that people were complaining about not getting that notification for the hearing. Well, Greg Zodi mailed the things out on certified mail, and people just got them. And the hearing, I mean, I can understand people's frustration, but then the comments were, "Oh, that's what they're trying to do. They don't want us to come. They don't want to," and that's not true.
Right.
The stuff was sent. The U.S. Postal Service is the one that messed them up.
Right.
So I mean, a lot of times people will jump on something and don't realize that, hey, just like with the legal fees. I knew we were collecting because I see them in the report we get every month.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, I think I made that comment during the meeting. I said, well, we've collected those already. And then somebody said, well, we're not, but we were. Mary was collecting. Jane then had a misunderstanding with the Supreme Court of Virginia, which is understandable.
Right.
And so they had not been collecting, but Kate's gonna get that done now. So I mean, that's what people need to understand. Mistakes can be made and they're not intentional.
Right.
You know. So
Definitely not from James' office.
exactly. I mean, she provided what she said, and you know, it's people are always eager to jump on somebody and blame somebody else. You know, it's a shame, but that's the way it is.
Well, you know, Facebook is full of facts, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I believe everything I read.
I did receive an email from Ms. Leanne Watrous, and she has checked her bills, and the annual maintenance fee for the case management system did not increase this year. So she said she can reduce her budget line for that from 4252 instead of the 4677.
Oh, good. 4250.
Like I said, we love the all word, reduce.
Right.
4252.
First,
Yes, it's on again.
So that would be reduced by $425.
trying to find it again myself.
It would be on that page.
This page right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find it in your notes?
Oh, case management system, I see it.
Yes,
All right, so it'll be 4250.
correct.
Well, that's,
Okay, Steve.
every little bit helps. Right here?
Yes, so that would be 4252.
Thank you.
And like I said, it would be $425 reduction.
Yeah. See that. Well, I know this next one provides a whole lot of services to the folks in Nottoway.
We got some changes going on.
Yeah. Yep, I heard that.
Guys, this is another one, kind of like legal aid, where they put counties in this block
Right,
and you still get the services.
right,
The difference is in the money that we give, like
right.
we gave some money because they started a program with transportation,
Mm-hmm.
and bought the van and everything.
Yeah.
But what happened was, as soon as the money dried up, they quit giving it to everybody.
Right,
And that money was dispersed. So I think one year we gave them like an extra $5,000 to focus on their transportation only for now.
right.
You know, it was a big help. But like I said, I understand there's some issues up there now. I just,
Well, I guess we're gonna find out about
Yeah.
that. But, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I see those vans everywhere. Senior reason, I think, don't they go to the community center
Yes.
sometimes? I see them down there, yeah. I see them down there. I mean, it's amazing how government has grown.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, Ann said something to me one night, and I said, look, Ann, here's the problem. She said, what is it? I said, it's too many people.
Yeah.
You got too many people, there are more services you gotta provide. And it's just like anything else. You want our citizens to have access to these services. If they're there, our citizens need to know about them and have access to them.
Right.
Just like when that lady from the veterans was talking, I'm sitting here going, oh, mackerel.
All right.
You know,
You know, part of this too is, you know, and I get it. People don't trust government.
that's right.
They just don't, you know, especially at federal and state levels, you know.
It's trickled down to local now.
That's right. But see, the citizens can get to their local elected
That's
officials.
exactly right.
And a lot of their frustrations, even though it may be minor, may boil over,
Right.
you know, kind of in a unfortunate way, but it's still, it's their frustration.
Sure.
And it's not that it's unfair, it's just their frustrations. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's why I always keep saying about government getting smaller. And the truth is, you know, there is people out there that are hungry. There's people out there that are homeless. But the programs that are out there, like you said, they're available. A lot of times it's a pride issue. You can't fix that.
That's right.
You know, somebody says, I'm not going to go ask for help for
That's
my
right.
health and stuff like that.
That's right.
But the other thing is some of what, you know, to tie this up to citizens, a lot of them seem to say, well, what do all these programs do when they're doing the same services? Great question.
Yeah.
You know, if social services is in place, they're feeding people. If you come to them,
Right.
these other programs get in place and people want to know where the money's going.
That's right.
There's always some money going somewhere. And most of these programs, and rightfully so, people question.
Yeah.
You know, there's someone's getting paid somewhere, and that's what the people want to know.
Right.
You know, a lot of times, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, but that's because people are taking advantage of the system.
That's right. Well, I mean, you know, that's been going on well.
That's right.
People get find out about something, and you know, it's just like the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
Those people set up these companies that didn't exist and got COVID money, and now some of them are getting caught, thank goodness. But the money's already been spent. I mean, you know, it's gone.
Yeah.
So you think about somebody setting up a corporation, a business, saying, well, I got this business right here, blah, 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 so I want some money. So they give them a big chunk of money because of COVID, and they didn't have a business to start with.
No, we saw it. Unfortunately, it happened here.
That's right. I mean, it happened everywhere.
Yeah.
I still see them on the news every once in a while. I say, well, so-and-so has been arrested for cause of fraud in the whatever it was, act that was giving the money out.
Right.
But anytime somebody says the government's gonna give you some money, there are gonna be people that are gonna jump on that immediately.
You know, the bigger government gets, the worse it gets.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, it opens more avenues for people to take advantage of.
Yeah.
And sadly, most governments don't have enough people to double check to make sure that what they're saying is true.
Right.
You know.
It's
And then if you hire more people with the government, then everybody gets mad because you're spending more on salaries. So I mean, it's you kill one way or the other. That's right.
It's very rare you find the opportunity, kind of like we got right now. We're looking into it as far as like the convenience.
Right.
Service. You can actually save money, but you're actually increasing the service to the citizens by giving them 24-hour access to that. It's got its own moving parts there, but in theory, it looks good. But you know, you just gotta.
Well, it's like I've always said. Joe May and I used to talk about this all the time, coaching.
Mhm.
We're gonna do this, do that. The devil is in the details.
Yes.
It sounds good, but then when you start getting down there and start working on the details of how you're gonna do this,
Yeah. The good thing I appreciate with this group here is that they're willing. You know, this group is willing to get into those details, and even if it comes out on the other end that it's not feasible, it's still
right. I mean,
it's worth a look into it. That's always appreciated. I think,
Like I said, when I first got on the board, I had no idea that the county was in the rental business.
Hey, I done found somebody here I think could take care of a whole lot of this budget request. You ever seen that, Mr. Ingram?
The back of my truck.
That's correct.
Let me tell you what happened, Mo. I sold
Right here.
to Haley some land. He's building a house right now. He's gonna build another house on it. But anyway, there was a storage shed there, and all of our junk from our house went in that storage shed. So when Buster was getting ready to clean it out, he said, anything in? And my wife said, well, I want to be down there when he cleans it out, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, okay, I'll tell Buster. So she went down and got some stuff out of there and so forth. Well, I had 3 or 4, I called them bats, but because they kind of look like a bat. But my assistant coach, Whip Wilson, had gone on them and taken the years, like 1990, he would have who we played, what the score was, who the kids were on the team, and he painted it on these flat surface of the bat, what our record was and so forth. Well, I had like 3 or 4 of them had been in Galoobic Stadium, and I'd taken them home, but there's nowhere to put them in the house. I put them down there in that shed. So Buster said, anything else? I said, well, don't throw my bats away. So
Yeah,
he told the boys who were working for him, he said, well, don't throw his bats away. That's what they say. They threw those other things in the dumpster.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Yes, it went to the landfill.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean,
that would come in handy on helping you get somebody off of you. You could get leverage with that.
I don't even know where they came from, but they were in the shed.
I ain't never seen that like it.
They were in the shed.
I was leaning up against the truck and I seen that thing. I said, that's exactly what we need.
So my dad has a small.
You ever have one of them? You have them both if you want.
If you would give me one, I'd greatly appreciate it. He had a Louisville Slugger. That was coming.
I don't
One of the little
know.
ones.
Yeah, they're really
Oh,
little.
yeah,
and
yeah.
It's a wooden one, and I have it. He gave it to me. I've never seen one that long before.
A tire checker will do the same thing.
Right?
You know, a lot of truck drivers, it's illegal to my knowledge, it's illegal to go across interstate
with
a fire.
Uh-huh.
So they got tire check.
Wow. Okay.
A tire check is better than nothing, I guess, but to the firearm, I might just throw it at it.
Yeah. It's yeah, that was a funny thing. And I said, Buster, don't let him throw my bats away. Okay. So those 2 things were laying. I said, Buster, what? He said, I told him don't throw your bats away. I said, well, I should have been more specific in what I said. But anyway.
I will hang this up in my office and I'm gonna get Mr. Ingram to autograph that damn book and write the date on it. That's right. Hey, we had a guy come to Stockyard Bill on Cali yesterday. You ain't never gonna guess what his name is.
Louisville?
Hubert Jones.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Hubert Jones.
Come on.
I ain't never
Oh, man.
All right. Is Piedmont not coming?
They lost 4 minutes at a time so far.
They may not have anybody to come.
They may not.
Right.
I guess they might have been counting on that they're doing that.
So everybody agreed that they would come, and I sent them all reminders.
Well, I see the amount they're $1,027 less, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything in my email.
Saying they won't gonna go.
Right, yeah.
Well, I know they provide a much needed service.
They do.
And you're asking for $1,000 less, which is, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look at what they did here.
I think it's good that we live streaming, but also I think we should think about in between these things. Is it easy to yield? It's not. I'm gonna say something got me stuck up with the law.
Well, I see here it says legal aid hour 74. Transport 1,932. Home delivered meal 16,530. Clients 599. That's pretty daggone good. Now, I've seen these farmer market coupons when I worked at the bank. Folks would come in there.
What was that again, Mr. Amy?
See that farmer's market coupons down here at the bottom? When they were the services for Nottoway County.
Oh, yes, sir.
See it? Yeah, you can see what they've done to the citizens of the county. 599 clients. They're gonna do it.
And again, you know, that's again, one of those things that they may be having one person can serve. It's the same thing again there.
How about the meetings prior to me getting you? How did they go? Good?
They went well.
Good.
We told them all no.
What'd they say?
They're like, okay, thank you. I'm kidding.
I know.
Yeah. But the good thing about the live stream too is you go back and catch it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I know, Daphne and Bill definitely will.
That little deal up at the top left right there, that means there's 4 people watching it.
Yep. Or may have commented. I can't remember.
Man, I should keep my hat on. Look at all that hat. I'm gonna give me some of that scalp and spray so I
You don't need a hat. That sun get the shine.
What's that stuff now that you can buy that's supposed to help you grow your hair?
Miracle Grow?
It's what y'all know what it is. I see
it's called hair.
Nutrafol or something.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that thing. And I said, "Ann, I think I ought to do that." She said, "No."
Well, Mandy bought me a shampoo and a conditioner.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to help you.
Okay.
I've been using this big bottle.
Uh-huh.
I've been using it for 2 years. And I think it promotes that business in a way that if it makes it fall out, you buy more of it.
That's right. You're probably right. You're exactly right.
I'm gonna paint my scalp. It won't be so high.
Just get a wig.
That's exactly
right. I mean, it'll be colorful. Every time we see you, we don't know what to expect. I'll get you a Marge Simpson wig.
Yeah, you know.
I like this one too. Negative 32,491. Of course, if she gets a grant, that'll go up. Oh, well, I think that's what that is. Yeah.
That'd be a mucky. What? A mucky? Do you know what that is? I'll have to tell you later.
All right. I got an idea.
I just looked at it and said somebody.
All right.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Who are you with, Bill?
Hi.
Hey, I'm Becky Carter.
You with?
I'm with Buckingham. Oh my gosh. I used to be county administrator in Buckingham. I'm with PSR.
Oh, come on, have a seat.
Yeah, Jeff couldn't be here. So. Yes, ma'am. I've been walking in a maze.
Oh, goodness.
Whew. You get your hike on around here.
Yeah. We kind of spread out.
Well, that's good. Okay, I think I have 1140. Are you Logan?
Yes, ma'am. How are
Nice
you?
to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
We've corresponded. Yeah, I'm working a little bit at PSR, so.
What we do, ma'am, is we're live screening for our public to see, and we're just asking you to give us an idea, and I've seen it in the stuff you sent to us, the services you provide for us.
Okay. Okay, well, like you said, you've seen it there, but we have a nutrition program, which is the home delivered meals.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe in the last year,
That's okay.
the last year, 16,530 meals was served in Nottoway residents for a total of 599 clients. We have a total of 599 PSR clients, but 69 home delivered meals clients, congregate meals, 423 people, and then the clients were 10. That's a good program where they pick them up and bring them to a congregate site where they can all be together.
Right.
They have recreation for them and foods.
Yeah, I see.
Good to get them.
Community center.
Good to get them out of the house.
Exactly.
The care program, that's a program where you go in, say for example, one of our drivers for home delivered meals might have found that an elderly person's steps were inhabited. You couldn't get up on them.
Mhm.
And so we have a program where they could go and repair those steps and rebuild them. They've gone inside the homes before and found where there's no running water. And with those programs, if they qualify, we can use the care money that we get. And for Nottoway, we had 228 hours and 53 clients, so that's good. Insurance counseling, 36 encounters. So I don't know how many of those actually, there's 36 encounters of people looking for assistance with their health insurance, because as you know, there's a lot of scams out there.
Right.
And so we try to help them to not fall into those scams and choose the best policy for them. Homemaker encounters, 5,566 hours with 20 clients. That's a very good program. That's where PSR can send someone into someone's home that needs assistance 2 to 3 hours a day, sometimes 3 days a week, depending. And they don't do housework per se, but they can help them make their bed. They can make sure their medications are right, and they can even prepare lunch for them and assist them. Sometimes if they're able to get out, they'll take them to run their errands and things like that. So that's a good program for them. So that I see that Nottoway's got more hours this year than the year before. Chore hours, 59, and that's a program that's a lot like the care, but that's where you can go and help do repairs on people's homes and things like that. Legal aid hours, 74. We do get a lot of calls for people that need assistance with legal, and PSI has a contract with Virginia Legal Aid. So we can refer them to them at no cost to them. Ombudsman cases, 14 in Nottoway. This is a very important part. I did not realize how important it is, so I started working part-time there. But this is where she goes into the nursing homes and the assisted living homes, and she looks into how they're being taken care of, and she's an advocate for the patients. And so I don't know if you've seen on the news, this is a big deal all over. And she has her hands full, because this is just Nottoway here that there's been 14 cases. Non-emergency transportation appointments, 1,932. That's an excellent program too. That's where they can transport your clients to and from doctor's appointments and hospitals.
Do they have their own van, or they use Van Go, or how do
We
they?
have our own van.
You do, okay.
Mhm. And they do pay a little bit based on their income,
Okay,
but other than that, we get some grant money from transportation.
okay.
VA care referrals, we've had 82. And farmers market coupons, 61, and that's where we get coupons for the seniors that qualify, where they can go to the farmers market and purchase items with these coupons.
I wasn't aware of that. Mr. Ingram was
Yeah,
speaking about
I saw
that
that.
before you got here.
Cool care units, 15, and that's where we have been able to assist people with the air units and the windows. We really don't have money to replace air conditioning systems and all, so
Right.
we try to aid in that way. And SNAP intakes for 69. And another program, the program I work with is utilities assistance for fuel and electric. And believe me, with the increase in electric bills lately, I've been pretty busy. The money generally comes from worked with social services with Cumberland and Buckingham, and some grant money came from that. The other counties didn't participate in that. And also South James River Association, Buckingham, have gotten from them a grant or a donation to help with that program, because we have folks making $900 to $1,000 a month,
Right.
and you get a $400 and $500 light bill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sad situation, so we're able to help them. Now, as far as the other counties has not put any money into this particular program, if we can, we try to use donations we've gotten, fundraising money, but any additional assistance with that helps. I've been amazed at the number of people who really do need help.
Y'all's request went down by $1,027.
Yes.
And the reason for that is because the federal funding was reduced.
Mm-hmm. The Americans Act.
So how much pressure did that put on y'all in operating? Because that's like getting hit twice, right?
Right. And I don't know the budget. They're telling me, I worked with finance only while Anna was on maternity leave, but they said the budget is looking okay. But where that with the decrease, we stick to the 10% match, and that's why we're trying to just be fair and take it down. If you want any extra, would certainly be helpful.
What about on the contrary of that? What about if the county wasn't able to fund it at all, or were to cut it even beyond that? Because we have a little financial crisis in our county due to a few circumstances. Would that hinder our residents from your service?
I asked, when Justine was executive director, I did ask that question. And like I say, I was county administrator for 27 years with Buckingham, so I dealt with this each year as they tried to get the amount of money up to the 10%. And what she told me was a lot of the service couldn't be provided to the county if they did not participate. Because with the DARS money and any federal grants and all, it does require local participation.
Okay. All right, so there's some changeover in the organization now. How is that affecting morale or performance or anything right now?
I think things are going well.
Okay, well, good.
I think Jeff he was transportation. He is interim director right now, and they have hired a new finance person. And she may be from up this way, but she's doing very good. And an assistant also, so that we're getting all of that under control. And the programs are, and that's what I look at.
Right.
It's like when all of this, everything was going crazy, I'm like, we got to make sure these programs are there for the people, and that we do what we're supposed to do with the programs, and that has not let up at all.
Well, good. And has there been a consensus as to who or how the disarray can be, and is it solutions in place? In other words, because my concern is like I sat on PSR for a little while, Nottoway. And one of the things that I was told then, it could be some changes now. I'm not saying that because I don't know, but what I'm saying is there was a mandatory set of programs that are supplied to the counties, regardless if they pay in or not. There were some additional programs that started with some grant money, like the transportation and stuff. And Nottoway redirected specific funds for that to continue for the people here. Kind of like, I like the farmers' coupons to say, like, if Nottoway decided to put in, say, an extra $1,000, we can say, let's make sure the majority of that is going in the farmers' coupons for the people in Nottoway County, that those would be distributed according to that.
Yeah, and part of with the program I'm working with utilities is the South James River Foundation in Buckingham did give $6,000, but specifically to assist Buckingham County residents that are less fortunate
Right.
with their utilities.
Right.
And because what they do, they have to do things that serve Buckingham people.
Right.
And so, yes, Nottoway could, and they could specify.
Right.
And see, that's what I do, is try to keep it separate, that this is only for this county and this is only that now.
But as far as the basic programs, you know, and I've asked everybody this because will I have today, and I want people to know, if it's not funded, I understand that there's some grant programs and stuff like that, that once that money's gone, anyway during the year, that program dries up. You know, like, let's say you run out of funds for transportation, if there's no additional funds to go towards it, within the transport side. All right, but as far as the basic services that when, like the DARS money and everything that you're speaking of, when these, because what is it, Area Agency of Aging, I think that's how it is. When they were put together, they created different names, Piedmont Senior Resources, another group covered another set of counties with a different name and stuff like that. But however, the basic programs, well, there was a basic set of programs that were guaranteed even if the counties didn't put the funds in.
Okay.
So that's what, I guess.
Yeah, it
you
goes
go
back to
this
his, and
question.
I can get the answer to that and get it back to you, but my response when I asked the question was that some of the services would not,
Right.
some of the service would not be provided.
Okay.
All right, y'all got anything else?
No, I'm good.
So we can move along in time, man. We certainly do appreciate you coming
All right.
outside. You got.
Oh, yeah, to walk around.
No, that's fine. I got a good look at it. I've been here a couple times with some county administrator meetings, but
Let me
not
ask a
over
question.
here.
You said you were at Buckingham. Were you there when they built the new courthouse?
So then you saw.
You know what we're doing.
We still online.
We still live.
I didn't let the judge, we didn't wait and let the judge tell us what to do.
We
Because
did
then
fine.
he could do what he wanted to do.
Right.
But we did, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was there.
I visited your courthouse and one of the courthouse, so I thought it was a very nice.
It is very nice, yes. Yeah, we did that and, we got the money for that. We actually ended up having enough to renovate and consolidate the administration offices and social services and everything
That's
together
great.
too. So, so we watched it. We watched that money really close with you have to
Right.
with building the courthouse, but now cost of everything's
Oh, I know.
gone up so
We know.
much. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Pleasure
man.
meeting
Coming.
Good
you.
meeting
You too.
Appreciate you coming.
I know, I worried you, Logan. I was like, I want to try to get all this information
She
in.
actually looked for your email just in case you had emailed to say you wasn't coming.
No, I was trying to find you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
coming.
I went to the sheriff's department, so they told me. where
They get you straight.
It is. It's getting better. I'm back in therapy. I'm supposed to go to therapy today, but the other day when I was in therapy, I done something to the top of my right leg, and it's almost like the pain feels like a shin splint. I guess that's the best way I can say, because I had them both, but I can't do my therapy today, so I'm not. I mean, I would be leaving right now to go to my appointment, but because that's more important. That's more important, but.
Well, good luck with your budget, because you are
Well,
not.
thank you so much. We appreciate
Right.
that.
I stopped by Buckingham this morning, kind of helped them with a few things, but it's hard on all the counties right now.
Oh, it is.
No, we could just stop taxing people and shut government down, let everybody live and be
Have
happy.
a dog in the chicken house.
There you go. The chicken house is over.
That chicken house and a cow and milk. Dog.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Madam Clerk, I see you here.
How are you?
I'm good.
Come on
Come
down.
on down.
Come on down if you like.
All right, I will preface before she sits down and starts, she did have some, updated information that I didn't have for today, so
Okay.
y'all don't look at your book, look at her stuff, and then I'll get y'all her updated information.
I was running numbers and noticed, you see what one on there, and there's, we are straight on that now.
Well, excellent. Yeah, we had, I knew we passed that ordinance. I just didn't know it. I think Jane really explained what happened. So
Yeah.
people think, oh, y'all not collected it. And I'm like, yeah.
Right, so,
And we went back and forth and I tried to clarify for everybody the same, for some reason, the same person has to report required her to give the county to produce a letter and, you know, get it for me. But I think it's just the new clerk shine.
Right.
I'll use it when I
We
can.
appreciate it. We appreciate it. All right, I guess you heard what we're doing with pretty much talking about what, you know, and we can see what you do. We know what you do, constitutional officer. So anything that you can tell us about, I know John's gonna ask the question, what can you cut?
Right.
But I see here you got a negative on the office grants and awards, but you anticipate getting those grants. Think you will?
So what I'd rather you guys understand is, you know, if you're trying to cut any grants, those are 100% state funded.
Right. Well,
You
no,
know,
we're not
so,
talking about that.
So I want to make sure nobody tries to cut anything.
No,
that,
right,
you know,
right.
really the county only fronts and then gets reimbursed
Sure.
for. So with my budget, it's mostly the same, except for just moving some money around.
Right.
And the grants are less. But the only thing that is increased from last year is the one in red, and the increased amount I moved from other categories.
Right. Travel mileage, right.
So I just reduced
Sure,
that out.
sure.
I'm hoping to get a jury management software program to put into place. And so that's kind of my goal without impacting the county.
Right.
So,
Appreciate that.
She's got updated information.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have there when you say we deposit daily? Now that we are fully staffed, but not asked to be reimbursed?
So the judge entered an order when there were only 2 to 3 staff members that they only had to go to the bank once or twice a week.
Oh, okay.
So I go to the bank every day. I don't care to be reimbursed for mileage. I'd rather, if we can, just reallocate that to the software.
Right.
And then nothing added.
Gotcha.
Where does the dues and memberships come in? What is that? It says it's only $320, but I've seen $5 look like a log.
I think it's the Clerks Association membership.
I sort of thought that.
It allows me access to all the clerks in Virginia to ask questions.
Sure, yeah.
You know.
The mileage, though, it's in 2 spots.
What
here.
numbers are you looking at to fall there?
All right, go to 5501.
5501.
Yeah, the last 4 numbers.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, it says travel mileage there, but then if you go back up into the red, it says mileage reimbursement funds and travel there as well.
Reallocated.
Oh, okay, all right, I got you now.
Yeah, she reduced that.
After your software.
And, but we spoke earlier, when Mary was in here about the new phone system. Currently, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they only have 1 line. Are y'all gonna go more than 1 line with the new phone systems, or y'all continuing with 1?
Well, it's over the internet, so we hope to have, you know, more than 1 line. I
Okay.
guess.
All right, so we've had a lot of problems with Brightspeed and AT&T, and most of what they use currently is Brightspeed and AT&T for phones. I know at least General District does. And usually we get a lot of phone calls, and I'm talking about the admin office, that they can't be accessible because they only have 1 phone line in their office currently. So with the new phones, they can get more phone lines in to be easy accessible to all of their people.
Okay.
But also with Brightspeed, we've been having a lot of problems with Brightspeed not putting payments in correctly. We're having to ask for refunds. We're having to tell them we need our money corrected and everything. So as much as we can, we would like to do away with Brightspeed as much as possible, just to alleviate that headache.
Right. And these cut about 15%.
But what other services is offered to our area other than Brightspeed the way on phone?
Well,
None in my knowledge.
currently, so far, our admin, treasurer's office, Commonwealth Attorney, and Commissioner of Revenue is all on GCR. So they have looked into GCR providing them the phone and internet service as well. So we can actually also transfer within departments if we needed to, whereas now we can't do that to certain departments.
Okay.
But it will alleviate a lot of the phone calls that we get that they can't be accessible, or with Mary's issues with the phone would tell you goodbye and hang up. So it's been a lot of phone issues, but this will help their office and Mary's office as well if they get the new phones in.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Clerk, Madam Clerk?
Well, I just want to show you guys the other spreadsheet I made, so.
And just got some data information too.
Well, I just sent it to Logan. I didn't realize,
She sent it since we've been in here, so I don't have
They
it.
loves getting stuff, everything.
send it to me.
There's some figures.
Okay, so, sorry I'm way up here, but I put together the amount that we've paid over to the county by category and in total. So this is last year. So 141,403, and then this is this year. And we have 4 more months to go, so we're ahead of schedule. So I was trying to bring you guys some good news today.
Thank you.
And the only other, and I'm gonna leave this here so you can review later, but it looks like things are picking up as far as what we're collecting. And it looks like the max county out of pocket proposed is less than ever before. So I don't have actual.
Is that because more people applied for a concealed weapon permit and we got funds from it?
Some of what, for the fees?
Yes.
Some of it is, let's see, a lot of it is the recording fees on the deeds.
Mm-hmm.
On the real estate.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's not the jury that brings the money into the county, but it is the jury that takes a lot of time, and that's, and it's very important. So that's why I kind of wanted to mention all of that to you guys, and hopefully we can get the jury program in place this coming year.
Good.
Without costing the county anything more.
And I will mention something that changed as Jane was going out that we're still doing now just because it made more sense in our office and in Tammy's office. When Jane was in office, they used to submit certain juror payments to Tammy, and Tammy would cut those checks to those jurors. And she would file with the state to get the reimbursement back for those specific ones. However, with accounts payable being centered in the admin office, we're cutting out checks. It's no sense for Tammy having to go an extra step to do accounts payable for just those jurors. We asked Jane if we could take it in office, and that way we do the checks because we do the other juror checks as well. And that way it's all sent out. We give the check registers to Tammy so she can submit with the reimbursement to get those funds back. So that is something we changed. You will see the budget has increased for that line item because it used to be under the treasurer side. So it was in kind of her funds as an in and out, whereas now we have to show the revenue coming in and going out because the admin is doing it now. But it is a reimbursable, so it's pretty much penny for penny.
Gotcha.
One thing I want to note is too, with the program, you don't have to write the checks. So it issues the jurors a debit card based on a bar scan, and then you just load it, and then it immediately clears the account, and you can immediately ask for reimbursement. No mailing,
That'll speed it up a whole
no
lot.
check.
Yeah.
It will.
And a lot of headaches.
And I think it'll maybe encourage the jurors to show up, and a lot of counties will have them paid before lunch so that they have lunch money that day.
No, cool.
All right, that's pretty good.
Like to be good to our jurors, you know, get them to keep showing up.
Definitely need them.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
All right, man.
I appreciate you coming.
Hope you have a lovely day.
Y'all too. Let me
Thank
know
you,
if
thank
you
you
have
for what
any
you're
questions.
doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks.
Y'all have a good day. Bye. Will do.
Take care. I ain't never been paid.
I know.
Handshake.
You keep the cash strap because I borrowed it in your office. Thanks.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to cut the live stream for lunch. Vice Chairman, Mr. Toth,
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
going to cut the live stream for lunch.
Okay, all right. Thank you.